and welcome to Tinfoil Hat live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. That's right. Go to Wolfpack Gold. Use promo code Tinfoil, and you too can get in on the Precious Metals game for as little as $50 a month. That's right. Sam Tripoli .gold, promo code Tinfoil. Very excited to have these guys on. It's been years in the making. We were supposed to do it before, but everybody got super busy. I just did their show, and then now they're on our show. We're very excited. They got a very popular show, Revenge of the Cis. Please welcome Mersh and Royce Lopez. How are you guys?
Thanks for having us, man. Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Finally, years and years later, we're here.
Yeah, we made it happen. I went to the comment section of my appearance on your show. Guys were like, fuck him, man.
Yeah, no, they're like, this guy. I'm like, guys, we're just fucking around. We're not actually angry. I forget stuff all the time. There's times that I've had guests and I have completely forgotten to the day of, and they're like, hey man, we're still good. I'm like, yeah, of course. And I'm like fucking scrambling.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's like, this should have happened a long time ago. Go fuck them. I'm like, okay, dude, it's life. We're here.
A little thing happened called COVID and, wars.
COVID and wars, and everybody's busy. But before we get into all that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Well, Mersh, you could do this one. Mersh has the better speaking voice.
Mersh we're Revenge of the Cis. You can find us on YouTube somehow. I don't know, miraculously. We're back there. And Rumble, that used to be a big thing, I think, at one point. A lot of people were talking about that for a minute.
Dan Bongino's home base.
Yeah, I feel like you guys were crushing it on there for a while. I go over there, I go, holy cow, these guys are getting big numbers. That's
we
great.
were, and we. The problem is, there was a point in a couple things happened. There was a point in time when everybody was getting kicked off of YouTube, and look, all these channels were streaming over there, so you had a lot more people, and especially during elections, dude, it's all political and stuff like that. But then what happened with Rumble, at least in my opinion, is like it became a right-wing platform, and it shouldn't be. It should just be a video platform that has cat videos and also politics.
They're starting to do that. I think they're doing something very smart that Rockfin didn't. They are bringing on the cat videos. They are bringing on the prank videos. They're bringing on the bikini chicks, which is smart because you just become like this echo chamber. So I've been seeing a lot of that.
But Rumble is the one that has to upload that. Because, I mean, as a cat person, why would you go from YouTube just to Rumble?
Well, I have my theory that Rumble, I've told this to Johnny before, that because of Palantir, I think Rumble's positioned pretty well. I mean, because, unless the CIA runs Palantir, which is definitely on the table, but if Palantir takes over, then Rumble's going to have the juggernaut behind it.
Hey, Sam, when? Not
when? Yeah, come on, when?
Come on, dude. What's some wins we have that haven't happened? Like, everything sucks now,
Everything sucks now.
Yeah, they replaced Tulsi Gabbard with a multi-level marketing guy. So, like, at this point, what are we doing,
What are we doing?
That is crazy. That is wild, actually. Is this
the craziest heel turn you've ever seen?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you look at a guy's, like, absolutely, like, look at the list of things he said he was going to do, and then he just was like, yeah, not only am I not doing them, I'm going to do the total opposite of all the things I said I was going to do. Yeah, it's pretty much the worst.
No, and then call you a loser if you don't like it. And you're like, oh, man, this is like I've had girlfriends like this, so, like, what do you do here?
It is crazy how, like, the Trump derangement syndrome is kind of for people who are behind Trump still. Like, that's the ones with the real derangement syndrome. It's like, it's really out of control, dude.
Yeah, I see it. I'm most surprised by how few comments we see about that. You see one, like, every couple episodes, somebody's got, oh, this is the latest podcast infected by Trump derangement syndrome. But anybody who actually believes the things that he said he was going to do has to be disappointed right now. Right?
Yeah, it's a cult. It's a literal cult. Whoever's with him now is like a cult.
And they can't escape it. And the problem is they can't escape it. And like, so what happened to people like Bongino's a great example of what happened to him. Like, he was big truth teller on Rumble and all this stuff, blah, 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 whatever. But then once he comes back after finding out that he covered up for the Epstein stuff and he lied about all that stuff, now the problem is people like that have no choice now. But to be Mark Levin's a genius, and you're like, wait, what? Are we really? Is that what we're doing now? So I have to. Dan
Bongino's doing like air karate now. Just talking about the black pillars.
Yeah, it's great.
It is crazy. It is crazy to go there, say you're going to talk a big game, go there, do absolutely nothing, and then try to go back like
Why
nothing
don't you do it? Why don't you do it?
Dude, well, I'm not dumb enough to take that job thinking I could do
Tough
anything.
guy, you step up and do it.
Yeah.
He just says that over and over again anytime somebody calls him out.
They must have showed him videos of him doing unholy shit. And it could be like their AI, which is like decades before us, that looks exactly real. And he's just like, it's like Black Mirror where he's just humping a dead pig or some shit like that. And we're like, we're going to put this out, dude.
You're right. You don't even really need blackmail anymore. As long as the video is good enough for everybody to believe and be like, we're going to post it out and say you did it.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And it's just
and the problem is like it's especially with politics, like by the time the truth does come out, if it ever comes out, it's too late. Elections are over, fucking policies are passed, and that's the issue. And you don't trust anything. And it's like, I will say this now, there's a lot more people saying why don't you do it, but a lot less people calling us conspiracy theories. And I think conspiracy theorists, and I think that's hilarious.
I think it's hilarious that that's still a slur to people. Right? Oh, what are you, a conspiracy theorist? Oh, you're not? Like, you're the retard.
Yeah.
I had a buddy the other day who I love with all my heart, but I forget what the term is, but he's like, you know, you got to watch, you don't connect dots, it's not there. I'm like, the show's 10 years old, dude. It's been around for a long time. It's top 100 in comedy on Apple. If it was like, if I was more wrong than I was right, I wouldn't have a show anymore. People would be leaving me like Ben Shapiro. And, you know, once you fake the funk on a nasty dunk, people are like out on you. They're fucking done. So it's like, I'm not connecting dots. It's just, you haven't heard this. Like, it's crazy how if you don't know it, it means it's not real.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, Ben Shapiro's still in the denial stage. Where it's like, no, actually, folks, the reason we're not making any money is because everyone's anti-Semitic. And I'm like, all right, Ben, like, I get it, but
Mersh, when are you gonna rally your people to wake the fuck up and stop being retards? When are you
My
gonna lead?
people.
Yeah, aren't you Jewish? Aren't you gonna lead a fucking charge?
Dude, no, I'm Irish. I just look very Jewish.
Oh, I thought you were Jewish.
No, trust me. You think I'd be doing this? Think I'd be slumming it with this guy?
yeah, you're right. He'd be on the front page of Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta get on that front page, or else it's hard to get.
Yeah, it's
views,
rough, dude. It's rough if you're not up there.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's crazy. Yeah, it's just nuts with this integration of the Israeli military and the U.S. military. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, even crazier than assassinating JFK. Like, but be like, hey, man, you want to...
Hey, you know, I know everybody fucking hates us right now, and I know listen, Israel's, if you take the poll right now, is known. Not a lot of people like them. Now's the perfect time for us to team up.
Yeah.
That's like making a movie with Kevin Spacey right after the kid diddling stuff comes out. You're like, I'm gonna wait a little bit, man. I'm not. Like, I know you're like a famous whatever, but I'm gonna wait a bit for this to die down.
Yeah, the brand's kind of cold right now. The brand's kind of cold. And it's just crazy, this, like, I feel like we're entering, and you guys have been really, like, press. I feel like I've been watching your guys' journey for a while, and you guys kind of have, like, I feel like you guys started out one way, then kind of went to the Dabbleverse for a little while, and you were like, oh, and then you guys, and I watched it happen, I thought it was so amazing. You, like, pull yourself out of the Dabbleverse, which is, like, so hard to do. And if you don't know what the Dabbleverse is,
you're a better human being if you don't know. You're living life.
Yeah, it's like people.
It's not only the Dabbleverse, dude. I'm gonna set the record straight here. We fucking created the Dabbleverse by mistake. We were the first people because Stuttering
Mersh
John is retarded.
left. It's great, dude. He just left you, dude. Does he do that on the show?
This is normal. You're looking at a normal show. This is actually pretty much probably cat related. If I had to guess.
I figured
something.
I knew it was
it's gonna be cat related. Yeah. No, but the Dabbleverse thing's so funny because the Dabbleverse thing started as we just fucking rip on stupid people, and Stuttering John had something dumb and we were making fun of him, and he got pissed. And he sent, like, pretending to be a lawyer, he sent me a DM being like, we're gonna sue you. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
For what? And then we made fun of him for a while, but then after a while it kind of became this weird economy.
It is an economy.
don't want to be here. Like this is cringe. Like honestly, look, here's what I call it. And no offense if you're into the Dabbleverse, but this is my opinion. The Dabbleverse is basically just like a whack bag retirement home. It's and if you don't know what that is, it's O&A fans go and retire to the Dabbleverse and go away into the
Oh God!
And then today I have to hear 20 years later how Opie jumped on a homeless guy's kick. I go, I know, but have you seen Opie now? He's not doing well.
He's not doing well. Anthony's crushing it.
Is that
though.
what Chad's all up in that, right?
Chad's trying so hard to get
I
out?
was gonna say, shout out to your boy Chad.
I know, dude.
Chad went to Mersh's house.
I saw that. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
that was funny.
I have no knowledge of
Well,
that.
he saw what I did with Red Bar, so he was like, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, what are you?
really?
Don't do it, dude. That probably wasn't even smart of me to do, but, I had to do it. But what's interesting is the Dabbleverse is like, it's just got enough autistics to keep it going. And,
all you need,
autistics just drop money, dude. They're like, why OnlyFans is doing well. It's like all these guys are just making these super chat money. And God bless them. I'm super happy for them. But it's like, it's a hard thing to get out of. You make just enough money that you can pay your bills. And some people are crushing it. Like Kevin Brennan's crushing it. But like a lot of these guys are just making enough money that they can't leave.
Yeah, it's kind of like when a pimp keeps you hooked on drugs and you always kind of owe the pimp money. You know what I mean? So you can just never really leave.
Yeah, dude, it's very weird. And Chad always trying to bring me on there, and he'll call me like just wanting to talk, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm live on my show." I'm like, "Bro, you gotta tell me that."
So funny.
The worst. That's the worst because you're always caught off guard, and you want to like fucking ruin a gig or something because you don't know you're live.
Also, this is now going to get clipped, so have fun with that. Because now this is going to get clipped by Dabbleverse clippers.
I love it.
Because they're going to flip out.
Wait a second. Then somebody in the Dabbleverse is going to comment on the clipped clip, and then they're going to clip their clip.
Yeah, it's
And then
It's
I don't
just
know.
a multiverse of clippings.
For me, it's funny because I don't get as Mersh was definitely more involved than I was towards the later end, and I would say I was always telling him it's like it just feels like a lot of people with gray pubic hair acting like teenagers, and I don't know how to handle that situation. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys were like, you were in there and then you pulled yourself out, which I thought was very impressive.
That happens to us a lot though, because like we
just get bored with stuff and move on.
Dude, that's our problem. We get bored. Like, like we were covering Brendan Schaub for a while and making fun of that. And after a while, we're like, this is stupid. Everyone's doing this. What are we doing? Like, who cares?
Yeah, we made fun of Stuttering John for a little bit, and then it was like, okay, we weren't going to his house and like stealing furniture out of the garbage pile and stuff and bringing it up on stage.
Oh yeah, just because he lives like on the set of the back rooms, that's not anybody's problem. Okay.
Have you seen that movie yet?
I saw it yesterday, dude. I gotta fucking tell you, one of the better movies I've seen in a long time, and I mean that. And I don't even go into theaters in general. And I went for it. Worth it.
Well, it's so expensive now. I mean, Florida's pretty cheap.
What movie?
Back Room.
Back
Oh
rooms.
yes, yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
Did you like it?
I did. Yes, but it's not what I expected. Yeah.
Okay, because
I
I'm
would
in
say
this.
it's not what you expect. Yes.
Really? Well, what'd you expect?
Well, I expected more of just straight
Horror?
sci-fi horror, and it was a little more psychological horror, and kind of it wasn't the mechanism behind it wasn't what it was just a little.
It has nothing to do with the
I'm-
YouTube videos.
It does.
No,
it does.
it does. Here's
It
the
totally
thing.
does,
It's literally in the same, I guess, universe.
Yes,
People show up from the YouTube video for sure.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you. I'm more of a fan of I like psychological horror more than I guess gore and kind of that kind of stuff. So you're right. There wasn't as many jump scares as you would expect, but.
Well, no, there were
well
even what they had were too. I hate jump scares. If you can't scare me without
Johnny gets scared.
Well, no, I just don't. It feels cheap to me. I've always thought jump scare movies.
You know why I like it? Here's my brain, because that movie cost $14 million to make, and it made $81 million. That Obsession movie cost $750,000. It made like, I don't know, even more. It's one of the top grossing films. And that new stupid fucking Star Wars film cost $126 million, and they made 25.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. The Obsession is fantastic. By the way.
Is it good? Is it that good?
So good. It's so.
I've
good.
I've had so many people tell me I got to watch Obsession. I've just seen it yet, though.
It's terrifying in so many ways too. It's
What's it about?
My wife's gonna hate it. That's awesome.
it's about clingy women, basically.
And she's really gonna hate it.
I don't know if someone's being funny, but they're like, oh, dude, it's just like dating a Mexican. Like, is it that crazy?
yes. That's exactly what it's about.
Yeah. The Mexican wall is real. I'm Cuban, by the way. So the Hispanic wall in general is real because women will go from being hot and then just like at a 30-something, if they don't take care of themselves, they hit what I call like the potato wall. And man, they all look like a bunch of fried yuccas. Like, it's really bad, but it's genetics. There's nothing.
San Antonio girls.
San Antonio girls. That's a great way.
Yeah.
Because they're not supposed to be out at the scene. That's the problem.
And they know it, though.
They're meant to be having kids and taking care of kids. I mean, the women on this show have heard it from me 1,000 times. They're great, but, it's like you're not supposed to be at the nightclub at 40. You're not. No. You're really not. Even guys aren't. Even guys go, but they're creepy, dude. It's like super creepy.
Look at the Amish. Dude, the Amish women, dude, they just turn into shoeboxes once they have squirt out a couple babies. They're all just shaped like rectangles. Just hefty women, It's a real thing.
But they can also build. They're gonna build a barn and like fucking squat 340. So
they just don't care how they look or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And then you take a look, because around 35, both sexes hit the wall. Men lose their athleticism, women lose their fertility. And then at 40, the most depressed and mentally ill demographic is women in their 40s, progressive women in their 40s, because they bought into the lie. And then they realize that it's not happening. And it's so crazy because I have so many friends of mine who have kids late. And like the look in their eyes is like, oh, they lied to us about all this. They lied to us about like it was like this is great, and it's like really fucking nuts, dude. And just the way, because I've been on stage and I've been asking young guys, "Are you trying to get laid?" They're all like, "No." I have,
dude. Yeah, 100%.
I have no clue how the psychological damage you have to do to a male for them not to want to chase pussy.
Women have monetized. I mean, fucking just scroll through Instagram for 5 seconds, and it's just a bunch of women talking about how they're a victim and men are horrible, and they hope guys off themselves and the male up. And it's like, why would you? And then you see the guys going like, "No, I'll just play video games."
Or there's like plenty of videos of like dudes going up to women and them secretly recording them and then being like, ick, and then like you're like, all right, well. What are you just going to humiliate these fucking guys if they go up to you for a TikTok video? Like, yeah, they'd rather not.
And then women, because they're fucked up, then they'll make a video being like, guys don't approach me anymore because I don't want to get accused of rape. Like, what do you want from me?
They've been talking about, because everyone has a camera now. We're in a panopticon. Just like they're always watching. And so if you do something stupid, someone uploads it. It's everywhere. Now you're the stupid guy.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, you can't. You're right. And no matter what you do, you have to worry that you're going to be recorded, and you can't even fuck up. You're right. You can't even walk to a chick and like shoot your shot and fuck up and say something dumb, because before you know it, there's like 5 billion views on Twitter, and look at this retard guy. He came up to me and thought he could actually hit on me, and I'm like, all right, man, whatever.
Also, the number one place to meet people was at work. And they just completely wiped that off. You can never do that. That whole culture of work, like The Office, the premise for The Office is a workplace romance, would never happen today. It'd just be totally unrealistic.
I saw this company. This guy's like, I'm just going to get rid of human resources. Yep. And he got rid of human resources, and all the problems in the office went away.
Of course.
They just immediately went away. He goes, this department's only here to cause problems. And he goes, they said, well, what happens if there's a high level thing? He goes, then if there's something, I'll deal with it. But that's fine. But we're not doing this. Because it's look, somebody said this, and I can't take credit for it, but does anybody in your audience, and you could leave it in the comments, I would love to know this. Has anybody in your audience ever met a leader of a human resource department that was a white, straight man? Those 3 things: white, straight, man. They're never those things. They'll be white and gay and a man. They'll be straight and black and a woman. But that it does not exist there. So if you're a white, straight dude and you're fucking working in an office, good luck.
Good luck, dude. It's basically The View. They basically have human resources, and we have human resource people listen, but it's just the truth.
Do we? You know that?
No, I don't.
Okay, I thought you had something in mind.
I'm just, women been taking a beating lately on a couple of my shows.
Well, you know what? They go take a beating on ours too. So this show's not going to be fun for women, but it's okay, because you know what? And I'm not trying to be mean, ladies. You're not fun for us most of the time. Because every time we're having fun, you're like, "Hey, what are you doing? Can I ruin it?" I'm like, yeah, I guess.
100%. You just see all these. What porn has done to guys is what social media has done to women. Like, it's just warped their reality. It's warped men's reality about sex. It's warped women's reality about just perception of everything. Like, women used to have a thing where they would sit down and gossip with each other. That's gone. Now they just get on TikTok and give away all the secrets. And nobody wants, and it's just, so this chick goes on a date with a Pittsburgh Pirate, which is barely a pro athlete. Right? They got one pitcher, and then everybody else is passing through. Right?
You're better off dating a Savannah banana.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for real. Actually, yeah.
100%.
Pay wise.
So you know, she goes on a date. And she's cute. I mean, I'm 53. Every girl in 20s is cute to me. It's like really hard not to be cute when you're this age. I used to watch male comics who were in their 50s just blush over these mediocre 20-year-old female comics. Like, oh, dude, she's really fine. No, dude, you're 50 and she's 20. That's it. You're just giddy that 20-year-old woman's talking to you. So, you know, so she's cute, right? She goes on a date with a pro athlete, and he's like, "You want to go back to my place?" And she was just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this!" And she runs to the internet and tells everybody the story, and she instantly gets pounded on.
Good.
She gets annihilated, and she blocks all of her. She
blocked everybody.
She puts it on private everywhere. It's like nobody wants to hear snitching. Nobody wants to hear it. It's
and
gross.
again, dude, if a fucking professional athlete is getting like, no, really think about it. You're talking about real problem for real normal guys. If a fucking, like you said, it's a Pittsburgh Pirate, but still, major league athlete is getting turned down. Good fucking luck, Joe Schmo that works at Amazon.
Yeah,
good
100%. It's and then these dating apps. You ever watch Whore Math or Ho Math? Have you ever seen the Ho Math channel? And he breaks down everything because he's like a mathematician. He breaks it all down. And he said, like, so studies have come out that 100% of the women find 80% of the men ugly, not even like unattractive or not cute, ugly, which means 100% of the women are fighting over 20% of the men. 100%. We're talking 4s and 5s.
And there are more women,
fighting for 9s and 10s.
Yeah, all the you know the problem. You know why? And this is women. Let's give you a break for a second. You know, a big part of this equation is guys will actually fuck anything.
Yeah,
so
that's the problem.
Even the ugliest woman always has an option. You could be a 500-pound woman, and hey, guess what? Black guys still exist. So you're gonna get laid. You're gonna get laid. You're gonna get laid.
You're gonna get laid.
They're delusional. If you go on the comments, it's just their own girlfriends calling each other hot bitch, gaslighting each other up, queen, and then you have a black guy telling you you're queen. So this girl thinks she's a fucking queen because they're just delusional.
Is every episode of Jerry Springer, by the way. Is like some fat white woman whose husband works all day, and she's just getting a fucking NBA train ran on her every fucking week.
Every day.
And she's like, "You didn't talk to me." He's like, "I'm working all the time."
Yes, she had so many NBA guys in her. They called her the COVID bubble.
Yeah, dude, for sure. So women. So I watch whatever. It's a fun show. I don't know why that guy gets to determine who's hot or not. It's the weirdest.
Well, it's like Howard Stern used to take a laser
but
pointer.
He's such an interesting guy, right? Because you're not Brad Pitt, and then like I like his show.
Yeah. That's one of my friends calls it 4-H fresh and fit.
Yeah, dude, it's such a weird fucking thing. He's like, "You're a 6." I'm like, "Who are you to judge anybody, dude?" Anyways, so he was talking to these chicks, and he said something really true. He's like, any girl here can have 6 guys in a day. Like women can have multiple men in a day. But men can have multiple families. I mean, like women can have a ton of dudes laying pipe on them, and men can have families all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of the game that gets played.
No, but you're 100% right. Really think about the 50s. In the 50s, not only could you support a family with one job, you could support like 3 or 4 back in the day. Think about it.
One job, 4 families.
Yeah, it was great. We need to go back.
But it's going to get like that because if you got 100% of the women fighting over 20% of the men, then you're going to have multiple baby mamas. Because these guys not going to bang everything to do.
They do have multiple baby mamas.
Yeah.
Like multiple.
Yeah.
I posted today. I saw a video on Twitter today of this woman who's living in a hotel and she has 7 kids from 7 different baby daddies talking about how hard it is.
That's insanity, dude. That's good for her for bringing them all to. I mean, do you know how many abortions happened in 2025? 70 million around the world. Think about that.
Those are just the ones that are on paper.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it, those are the ones on record, you know?
It is crazy. So let's get into some stuff I saw you wanted to talk about. Thomas Massie, your thoughts on the whole Thomas Massie thing and Thomas Massie himself. Do you trust this guy? Is there anything about him that makes you nervous? Or are you thinking that this was a legit coup to take him out and replace him with a Zionist? Do you think that's all real, or is it another part of the theater game that's going on?
No, I liked Massie. I don't like trust any of these guys 100%, and I don't trust, I don't think any of them are like our heroes or anything, but he was like the closest we had to like an old school, like shut it down kind of politician. And yeah, they railroaded the guy. They spent like a lot of money to railroad this guy in a tiny little district.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like, again, it's not one of those. They'll call. You see it on Twitter. They call you anti-Semitic by if you go like, AIPAC bought this election, and you'd be like, that's anti-Semitic, and then AIPAC will tweet out, we totally bought this election. By the way, guys, it was absolutely we did. So
well, can I just say, God bless him though, because he's out. He's smashing Marjorie Taylor Greene now. He's out on boats. He's not even hiding it anymore. Like. He's just going fishing and drinking and stuff.
All of that.
He's already doing Massie 2028. But to me, it's not even so much about whether you like Massie or not like him. It doesn't really matter. I liked him. My politics definitely align more with him. More like old school Ron Paul libertarian mindset. But the reason that this should worry everybody is like, it doesn't matter because sure, maybe it was our guy now, whatever. It's fine, but it'll be your guy.
They do it
to Bernie Sanders, like, and it's when it's your turn, you can't complain because now we've said it now. We've said it now that you can, with 3 billionaires in Jewish money, buy an election for somebody who would have never lost that, who never would have lost that seat ever.
Nope.
No, I agree, dude. Guys, listen, real quick, I want to tell you, man, they're just going to print money. I mean, Trump wants to give Iran $300 billion. What do you think that's going to do to your dollar? You got to solidify your cash. And the best way to do that is precious metals. Okay. And there's one place to go and one place only. And that is Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. That's right. Wolfpack Gold. Let me tell you about Wolfpack Gold. If you're paying attention, you know that de-dollarization is real. Fiat is fake, and you don't want to be left holding the bag when the dollar collapses. Gold and silver has been money through all of recorded history and are an excellent way to protect yourself from inflation and geopolitical turmoil. That's why I trust my friends at Wise Wolf Gold and Silver for all things precious metal. Veteran-owned and an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. No transaction is too big or too small, and you can even roll over your 401k or IRA into physical gold and silver. And if you think you can't afford precious metals, think again. With the Wolfpack monthly membership program, you can get gold and silver delivered directly to your door for as little as $50 a month. Wise Wolf Gold and Silver also deals in and accepts Bitcoin. So go to samtripoli.gold, promo code tinfoil at checkout to receive free constitutional silver. And remember, in the world of bulls and bears, be the wolf. as you know, I have 2 phones. I'm actually gonna get a 3rd phone. Okay, I was telling these guys about last night, and I don't want to spend a lot on this 3rd phone. That's why I want to look at. That's why I'm gonna get, not look at. I'm gonna get Mint Mobile, dude. I'm tired of my charges going out of control. Mint Mobile. I'm telling you. Let me tell you about Mint Mobile. I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it. Unfortunately, traditional big wireless carriers also seem to like to keep my money too, okay? After years of overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up with the crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and free perks that actually cost me more in the long run, and I switched to Mint Mobile.
Stop overpaying for wireless just because that's how it's always been. Mint exists purely to fix that. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Bring your own phone and number, activate via eSIM in minutes, and start saving immediately. No long-term contracts, no hassle. Ditch the overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month.
It's a great way to save money on your wireless program. What do you think, Johnny?
Wireless is normally just a total ripoff, and Mint has kind of cut to the heart of that with this $15 a month deal. It's the best value in wireless.
Johnny, you sound excited about it.
I'm thoroughly intrigued by this offer, and I'm going to take them up on it right now.
If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/tinfoil. That's mintmobile.com/tinfoil.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent of $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
And the crazy thing is everyone's going off on Kentucky, but I don't even think it was Kentucky's fault. I think at the end, just like what happened in the mayor's race last night in LA, like all of these votes come in late. Like they just have to see how many votes they need to just crank up. And then it's like late night votes, and votes come in all for this guy, that guy, this guy. And 5 years from now, we're going to be like, this doesn't make any sense. There's only 1 million voters in this district, and 1.4 million people voted, and it's all too late. It's already freaking done. So again, it's just this mail-in shit. It is the ultimate way for them to rig the election. And I went and voted last night, and I went to go. I just purposely handed them my ID. I'm like, here, take it. And they're like, we don't want it. What's your name? And I'm like, oh, dude, it's done. So Spencer Pratt, I was texting him all this shit to say because they kept hitting him all the time with fucking, you don't have any experience. I'm like, tell me I don't have experience in burning down the city and exploding homelessness and turning LA into a crime den. I'm like, because that's their whole thing. You have no experience. I go, yeah, tell him you don't have experience in destroying the city. He's like, thanks, dude. So, I mean, and there's, he's a Zionist, but I think every election now is either you're voting for a neocon Zionist or a Bolshevik progressive.
You don't win. Look, how do you win? That's I'm a big proponent.
Yeah, the mayor of LA is gonna be pro-Jewish. I mean, that's just what you're gonna have to deal. I mean, we live in Florida. It's the same thing. They always go like, "Oh, your governor's like so pro-Israel." It's like, well, if he wants to be governor of Florida,
it's like whether you like it or not, it's Florida.
You gotta play nice.
So I mean, I don't know. Listen, I get it, but you can moan and whine sometimes. But for LA, if you live in LA, again, there's certain things that are on a tier list, right? Spencer Pratt is like, he can't fucking control fucking foreign wars or anything. So even if he is a Zionist, who gives a shit, right? But what he can do is maybe, have water in the reservoirs, right? And fucking clean the city up. And he even got Bill Maher there. Bill Maher's like, I installed solar panels, and he even told them like, solar panels are like the last thing on the fucking list, bro. Yeah. Like, I get it, but so I'm not saying, does it suck? Is it a hard pill to swallow? Sure. But I think for local elections and stuff like this, I don't really think it makes as big of a deal as like a federal election.
I think local elections may be the only thing that really matters on a federal level.
Well, did you watch the James Lee? He had this video he made where
I know
he
every
was
time
saying
I
that,
tweet pro Spencer Pratt, I know James Lee gets a little more disgusted with me, but I'm like, I'm picking my poisons at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who are we choosing? If not Nitya Raman?
I swear to God, dude, I voted.
Democratic socialist.
I voted yesterday. I couldn't spell anyone's last name if I tried. I didn't know who any of these people were, so I just you could put in you could name somebody. You could write in, and I just put my name under everyone.
That's so
like, who do you want to be county creator? Sam Tripoli. Who do you want to be district attorney? Sam Tripoli.
You know you don't have to put anything.
I know, but I just want to get a vote.
Well, all the names are foreign, so they just look like new comedians are on the front page of Netflix.
Way
special.
too many vowels, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't.
You can spell.
Oh,
basura.
great! They gave him an hour Netflix special. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
It does show you how pissed off people are in the state, though, that Hilton was leading in the governor's race, a Republican with an English accent. The guy speaks with an English accent and was on Fox News, and he's now first.
You're gonna have these bubbles of LA where they still have money and they can fantasize. Again, it's like if you watch that Finkelstein interview, I'll get into it. So if you watch that Finkelstein interview, Norm Finkelstein, who suddenly is upset that the right is agreeing with him. Like he's like, you got these right guys, these conservatives that are just anti-Israel, which is going to lead to the death of Jews. You're like, bro, they're literally saying the same thing you made your fucking name off of, dude. It's why everyone likes you, because you're calling it like you see it. And now because someone has an R by their name or a C for conservative, now you're freaking the fuck out. And it just gets in to what always happens is with leftists, it's like the theory of hate is 10 times worse than real world consequences. They would never want to agree with a conservative on nothing. It's like the issue isn't as important as going to war with the other side. And he didn't destroy his brand because he's back at it again. But it really, everyone was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And that's LA. It's like, dude, you're pumping $7 gas, and you could be like, well, it's the Strait of Hormuz. It's like, it's not, dude. The gas we pumped, that we're pumping in our car, that oil was taken out of the earth 2 years ago. This has nothing to do with the gas you're pumping right now.
I know. And the other thing you brought up, which we talk about on our show too, is like, I remember when I was younger, like people were allowed to have like nuanced views on things. And somebody was Republican or not, but I do remember this, and this is the part that blows my mind that you really like. And Mersh and I talk about it. When you were younger, right? Like, you know, my parents were Republican, right? But our neighbor was a Democrat, and he voted for Bill Clinton. And yeah, they busted each other's balls, but they came over, they barbecue, they can watch football. Everything was fine. But now it's like, what? Who'd you vote for? Wow. I guess you know what? I guess you don't want women to have rights, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? No, I
guess Israel doesn't have a right to exist, huh?
And I'm like, you know what? The more you keep saying that.
Well, it's very interesting because the woman who lost came in third in the mayor's vote. Her last ditch attempt was to bring abortion into the issue. So she started talking about abortions and how these Republicans want to take away your right, which is what you see every 4 years. Right about a year outside of the election, the Democrats crank up the abortion issue, and then that's how they galvanize all the white progressive women who just have fallen for the psyop of back alley abortions, which isn't real. Rachel Wilson's talked about it a lot, and the Roe versus Wade whole case is the woman at the center of it admits she lied about everything.
And you're right. The back alley abortions, they always sell it like we're living in some sort of fucking post-apocalyptic shanty town.
Yeah.
Where there's just fucking roving vans with coat hangers that are ripping babies out. That's not really happening, guys.
It's never happened, dude. It's all big bullshit lie. But they had to sell them on it because they want that to be a wedge issue. I mean, when Obama was in, they had the House, the Congress, the Senate, the White House again, and they could have codified it, but they didn't because that's the issue that they drive in when they don't really have anything to run on, so they just run on fear. So they just crank up the Democratic bullshit, and it's really sad that they fall for it. And, you know, going back to what you're saying about, you know, you believe one thing, it will be used against you later on. That's exactly what happened with pro my body, my choice, which was, hey, I have the right to my body when it comes to abortion, stuff like that. And then those people automatically flip to, if you don't get the COVID shot, you have to go live in a camp. They are literally saying we should live in a camp. And they lost all their ground there. Nobody at all believes any of this. So they've been taking L's on the pro-choice shit. And that's what it is. And it goes back to this ICE shit. Yes, there's a lot of people in this country that need to go, and these idiots don't realize that. And again, it's like the thought of the police, law enforcement having any power, and I'll get into my problems with ICE, but, they're more upset about that, like in Minneapolis, than they are about Somalians robbing them blind. The more tax people don't care about tax fraud. The quality of life or standard of living people want more taxes. If you got rid of taxes, you would have a better standard of life. I mean, it's simple math, but they don't ever care about that. It's just more taxes, more taxes, more taxes.
We're dealing with that here. We're trying to get rid of income tax in Florida. Not income tax, excuse me, property tax. Yeah. So if you own a home here, doesn't mean you can have like 5 homes without paying. But if you own a home here, homestead, DeSantis is now trying to pass, hey, you know what? We make enough money here. We have a surplus. We really shouldn't be having to pay property tax. You don't own anything if you pay property tax, right? So, of course, as you could think, it's a very popular issue for people here. Everyone's like, hell yeah. And the only people fighting back are these municipalities that are like, but what do you mean? What do you mean we can't make extra money? What are you talking about? The schools are going to fall apart. And I'm like, no, they're not.
$300 billion has been stolen in tax fraud in California, and these people want more taxes. They almost have the best accountants ever that they don't have to pay taxes. They want everybody else to pay taxes. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then you have these progressives, and there's like young people. I understand it's like a horrible economy to come into if you're super young, but they're like, let's give boomers more fucking money, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you don't understand. They've artificially inflated the price of your house so they could tax you more.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and a lot. And they're all in on it. And then BlackRock owns so many homes too. And this also falls under issues that nobody actually wants to take care of. Like everybody wants to feign because, now it's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of things we could do right now. They could fix stuff if we wanted to, but we don't because all the lobbyists and everything's entangled and nobody wants to do it. You brought something up that was a great point where you were like, Republicans only really fucking care about the border too around election time. And you want to know why I know that's true? Because Trump is say what you want about Trump. Illegal immigration has gone down, people coming in. He has not deported enough people, but whatever.
I agree with that.
But here's the one thing that people aren't bringing up. He never built the wall, and that kind of went away because that problem is going to come back like that. The moment he's out of there, if there's not a physical barrier or something with what he ran on, it's not going to matter. And again, I think it's by design. That's why the neocons were always against the wall, because if you need to be able to run on immigration, because in the truth of the matter, you think these neocons want all these Mexicans here and all these people. You're not even Mexicans. You know what? I apologize to Mexicans because in the 90s, if I could go back to the 90s.
Trust me, I would want to go back. Can we get the Mexicans back? That was fine.
That was so much better. Because
now it's like Haitians and Syrian terrorists.
They're pit barbecuing gerbils
Chinese
in Times
people.
Square, and I'm like, what's happening here? Mexicans get up at 4:30 in the morning and go work for their family, and I can live with that, dude. We all had this agreement, right, where it was like immigration. We kind of talked about it, but we were like, you know what?
Look, they might be a little loud, a little bit late at night, drinking their Modelo's in the yard, but it's like I can deal with that, And
I don't mind when you put inside furniture outside. It doesn't bother me any. So it's like I don't care. It's fine for me.
Mexicans love couches on their front lawns, dude.
But they're comfy. Say what you want, but they're comfy. Every Mexican house looks like the projects in The Wire where they have just couch out there and they're just sitting on it.
Here's the thing about the Mexicans, and Mexicans are amazing. But they're now 2 or 3 generations in, and they're going through, and they're way more like white people than Hollywood wants to admit. Hollywood wants to act like they're all gang banging black culture, but really they're very way more conservative, But the problem is
they're all fat and they all work for Border Patrol now.
Dude, Mexicans.
Dude, there's a lot of Mexicans.
And LAPD.
Yes, there is a lot of Mexicans. That's why their face is covered, because they keep getting yelled at. You're like a bootlicker for Mexicans. That's why they, every time
and you're
they're
like,
in LA.
cool. I get Benny's, dog. Like, what do you want from me? I mean,
But here's again, if cops don't wear masks, why should ICE wear masks? And on top of that, I'm sorry, and this is again the game they play, which is get you comfortable with shit against that being done against people you don't like. And once they get that, then they do it to you. It's like, and then there's nothing you can do because you're emotionally captured. It's the same thing with AIDS, right? When they tell everybody AIDS is everywhere, they're like, it's just a gay man's disease. And then as soon as everyone bought it, only the gays can get it. Then they're like, oh my God, the straight chick got it too. Now you're emotionally captured.
Those are just finance bros in the 80s still trying to get laid, though. It's a gay disease.
Yeah.
Gay, dude.
That was some of Sam Kenson's best shit. But going back to ICE, it's like, you should have to have a warrant to go into somebody's house. I don't care if it's illegal or not, because that's basic constitutional shit. That's a checks and balances. This notion of raiding someone's house without a fucking warrant is a slippery fucking slope that they're getting you okay with because you want to get rid of illegals. That's how they do it.
100%. Look, I think Mersh and Mersh will agree with me. We're stuck in this weird world where we're pretty anti-authority in general. I would say we don't like to be told what to do, and 100% I like to say when we watch cop videos, we try to be as fair as we can, because there's a lot of shitty cops, and there's towns that are entirely captured by them. It's 100% happens. But that being said, I don't want to live in a lawless fucking shit world either.
100%, dude.
But I will agree. We should always cover, show your face. I agree you should show your face. Yes, show your face. I know they're getting fine, but okay, but that's part of the job. And I think Bill Maher said it, to give him credit. He says, you can't be a proctologist and complain about seeing assholes all day. It's like, that comes with the job.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And if you think you're going to send down fucking social workers to talk to broken people, hurt people, good fucking luck, dude. By not reporting crime doesn't make crime go away. It just emboldens fucking criminals. I was like, dude, we're not going to get arrested for this shit. Let's fucking go, dude. So that's what we see happening. And then when they change the law and people don't know that, they go and shoplift and they get arrested. Like, we're not going to jail. You don't arrest for it. They're like, they change the law. They're like, oh, we're going to jail. It's like, they're not going to stop doing it because you don't enforce it. That's it. And don't live in a gated community. Tell me about how we don't need cops.
Yeah, well, they don't need them, and that's true. It's always gated community. Always the same people telling you not to have a gun too. Are always the ones that have security guards.
Governors too, like Newsom, walk around with 8 armed guards telling you don't need guns.
Newsom's scary, man, and I'll tell you why. We talk about it on the show, but Newsom's scary because he can win and really easily because of women. And I'm saying that
women are dumb.
He has, as president, he has that Bill Clinton weird kind of, he knows, and I'm telling you, chicks dig him, and that's really, nowadays, that's really scary.
No,
Beto O'Rourke and a lot of these other guys, they're just dorks. They keep running these guys that are dorks, trying to skateboard in the Whataburger parking lot, and it's like, ew, dude, stop. But yeah, Gavin Newsom has that old bad guy from an 80s movie
American
that's gonna
Psycho.
Tear down the fucking community center energy. Yeah, women like that.
Say what you want about Patrick Bateman, but he crushed. So I mean, and women will fall for that because it happens, because he's one of those always women's rights and abortion, man. There's worse than women that are pro-abortion are the dudes that use it to get laid, and he's one of those. Oh yeah, no, dude, women need to have abortions because dudes that do that have paid for several of them. So it's in their business interest to say yes.
I agree, dude.
I'm looking at Gavin Newsom's podcast, his YouTube page. He just interviewed what's his name, Andrew Yang, 6 days ago.
I don't need my governor doing a podcast.
Yeah,
bro.
I agree, but it is not doing that great. The numbers aren't crazy. I mean, he's doing it, and then he had Ben Shapiro 4 months ago, but I thought he let it go. He's still trying to push his podcast.
Yeah, because they're if Rogan can do it, I could do it. And they just
so many people think that. It's the funniest fallacy that people have is if Rogan could do it, I could do it. Three views, 4 views. 5
It's
years.
hard to get views, dude. There's so many people now.
Even people that like now, back in the day when podcasting first started, if you had some sort of establishment and stuff, it's easier to build into. But now even established people going to podcasting and they're not doing well because it's a different world. People think it's a one way, and it's that kind of happened with, I don't know if you remember during COVID, but there was an invasion of like Hollywood stars on YouTube because they couldn't make their movies, right? Because of the COVID. So they figured, well, I still got to keep my face out there. And then you had like Jack Black playing Twitch games or something, and I'm like, oh, you guys want in this real bad, don't you? You guys want in this real bad, and they're gonna get it. And I mean, the one good thing I will say that's happened, and we just talked about it with the backroom stuff and all that stuff, is that was a YouTuber that did that, and it's fucking beating the brakes off of Star Wars.
We've been talking about this on the show. It's like they're doing controlled demolition of Hollywood. There's so much woke crap in the middle that just wants to keep putting out action hero movies and all that shit that nobody wants to watch. So they can't fire them, so they have to implode it. So it just looks like it's a natural thing, and then they're going to build it back up. Guys, listen to me. Some people love THC, some people love CBD, but what if I told you you can get both those in the best product possible? And that's our good friends at Batch and their micro mints. Let me tell you about Batch and their micro mints.
Micro mints take advantage of sublingual delivery. That means under the tongue. It absorbs there faster than a capsule or even a gummy, and you feel it. CBD plus CBG combination. Wow, that's what's in these micro mints. It targets both calm and mood, not just one or the other. And to be clear, it's not a crisis intervention. The goal is just to get to baseline, to chill out, There's no grogginess, no dependency, no pharmaceutical side effects, and they have at Batch, and this is something they take pride in, fully transparent lab testing that you can verify. They also have CBD night gummies. They're formulated specifically for sleep quality, not just falling asleep. So you're not drowsy. You're going to have a high quality sleep when you actually do get to sleep. Waking up rested changes everything downstream of it. Mood, patience, cognitive clarity. And they have an incredibly clean formulation for those of us who love to read ingredient labels. And if you're asking yourself, why should I trust Batch? Well, check this out. They're founded by engineers, not marketers, not random Instagram people. And they offer a full certificate of analysis for every batch, meaning you can look up every ingredient and confirm that it's there doing what it's supposed to do.
So right now, Batch is offering 30% off site-wide, and yes, that applies to subscriptions too. So you can lock in that discount on your monthly supply. So go to hellobatch.com/tinfoilhat and use the code tinfoilhat at checkout, and we thank them for sponsoring this show.
There's a big rumor that they are set to reboot or like make a parallel dimension for the Star Wars franchise because they fucked Star Wars up so badly that the only I mean how else could they fix it?
There's no other way. Yeah. Look, Star Wars is something where like I was a nerd as a kid, comic books. Like that was me growing up. I loved that shit. I was a real fat kid. And I always, fond memories of Star Wars, Star Trek, and all that kind of stuff.
Same.
And as soon as it was sold to Disney, I'm like, this is going to be a fucking problem. And now I will say, another apology. I apologize to George Lucas. I shit on your prequels really bad.
Me too.
And honestly, going back now, I would give anything if that's at least by the guy who created it and it's somewhat in the Star Wars. But now it's political dramas. They're fighting space Trump or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't need to see a Star Destroyer that's MAGA colored or whatever the next thing you're going to do is. And now they're trying like, we got to bring Gina Carano back. We got to bring it. Listen, guys. They burned the franchise. I don't think you could fix it. And to be honest with you,
I think you're right.
I don't want them to. For what? To do what? To go, hey, oops, guys, we're sorry. We're going to do it to get the same. Unless who are you going to bring in to write? There's no, look, back in the day, say what you want. But man, back in the day, bro, we had these fucking amazing Jewish writers that were in there, bangers after bangers. And now you have a bunch of gay, non-binary millennials in there who are just making everything about current topic. And then Star Wars looks like Euphoria.
Yeah,
but they got to do something though. They got to do something. They can't just let the franchise go. Yeah, you can't just let it go.
So much for it. Yeah, and it's a cash cow in the parks.
You're right. It's too expensive. You're right, and they're literally rides in the parks. You're right. It is a lot of money. So of course they're not gonna let it go. But I think you're not gonna capture any of the real old fans anymore. I mean, who's gonna go?
Are they getting the new ones? Can you at least say that they got new Star Wars
no,
fans?
because look at the Acolyte. I mean, that was the whole play
listen,
for the new
here's
fan.
the thing, dude. You know,
It's terrible.
It's that who liked Star Wars? Boys like Star Wars,
and
dude.
it's women making all the new shows.
Yeah, and
ridiculous.
it's also like, okay, that putting women in charge of Star Wars is like putting men in charge of Sex in the City. It's just like
100%.
You can't write to that demographic because you don't understand it. It's the same thing that happened to Playboy. He put his daughter in charge of it, and it just went to shit. She started doing, we're not going to do these shots anymore. It's like, no, those are the shots we like. We want to see inside. We want that.
And then Penthouse is like, we're going to open the pussy up even more.
seriously.
Right?
You're going to see her tonsils. But a perfect example you said about female writers, and this is so true. Perfect example. The stupid She-Hulk show was written by all women, and that was a woman writing a lawyer. A man writing a lawyer, Kim Wexler on Better Call Saul. Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So it's we always talk about when women write, you could always tell because they over-explain and they use too many adjectives and they go too deep into stuff. And it's like every little scene needs to be framed.
No,
Yes.
women always write like they just took a creative writing class. Like,
It didn't do well.
Yeah,
Speaking of
it's
women-
always very telling.
And you're right, Sam. Dude, male Sex in the City would literally be a 30-second Vine video. Hey, you smash? Hell yeah, bro. High five.
Yeah,
End of
that'd be
scene.
it. That'd be
Show's
it.
over.
That'd be
because
it.
guys are going to be like, oh my God, can you believe Cindy was? No one cares, dude. No one fucking
When I see a straight male, I'll even take black male, straight male, like that we know straight. We're like not down low brother, but we know straight. On The View, I'll know you're serious about diversity. I'll know you really want all voices to be heard. That show's been running for 30 years. It's never had I think Lance Bass was on it for like 2 seconds.
Was he? I don't.
I don't even remember.
If you could pick the black guy, like who would it be? Like someone like 50 Cent,
Michael
Okay,
Strahan.
Tracy
Yeah.
Morgan.
Okay,
Boozy. Someone fucking crazy.
Bootsy would be great.
Someone fucking nuts. I want someone. I want crazy straight black dudes like, nah, man, you can't be transing your kids, dog.
DMX.
Yeah, you gotta get
Bring
like
back
a
DMX.
real hood, dude.
DMX would have been great.
The only real
Oh,
one,
he
dude.
would have been amazing. All right,
DMX would have been slapping bitches. He was wild.
He was
Cat
great,
Williams can get
dude.
up there
He
early.
was great. You see all the old videos of what they taken from us. It's just like
dude.
all that male energy is gone.
Everything's gay, dude. Every time I watch like a rapper now, they're all gay guys, and I'm like, what is this? What are we doing? Does that guy have a perm?
Yeah. I would like the Jerry curl to come back. That'd be fun. Let's get into Erica Kirk. You wanted to talk about that. That TP USA is a dead brand. It is a
Oh, yeah.
dead
100%.
brand. They ran it into the ground. It's like it's pretty. This whole thing coming out when Melania was actually one of Jeffrey Epstein's escorts, which, like, again, we've been talking about that forever. One of my first jokes on my special is how she's like the Michael Jordan of gold diggers, dude. Like, she's the greatest to ever do it. Like, no one's ever gone from fucking hooker to first lady that we know of. I mean, half the first ladies were dudes anyways, but, it's like, it's an amazing ride. It really is the American dream if you think about it. Prostitute to first lady. That's a great story that they should write on some movie about.
From Russia.
Wait, you don't like that? You don't like that baddie Eleanor Roosevelt?
Yeah, dude,
That was so crazy though. Like the way she just came out. Remember when Melania just came out one day and was like, "I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein," and we're all just like, "Whoa!" Like nobody was saying you did. Like
The craziest part is, guys, you have to remember when it happened the day before. Trump was like, "We're not talking about this," and she's like, "The fuck, I'm not."
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to get in front of this, but like he's one of his hookers. And then he married Trump, and it's like, and that's the problem as you get older as a man. You're like, guys are good looking until they're older. Yeah. I mean, we just have more money, which is very intoxicating. We have more money and power. But the chicks who date the really old guys are a little cuckoo crazy, dude. It's a little cuckoo crazy, which is fine. I like crazy. I'm in. All right. But it's like, that's who you get when you're Trump. You start dating fucking hookers, dude. You dated a hooker. You married a hooker.
Think about it if you're her, though, right? Like, you go into that thinking you're going to be, the end game is I'm going to be with a billionaire, real estate, TV, reality TV star tycoon. That's the end game. And at that point, yeah, people are going to make fun of you and stuff, but there's no actual real threat to your life. And then he goes, I'm going to run for president. And she laughs because he's done it a couple other times. The guy fucking wins. And now you're in a scenario where it's not like they're going to the tabloids. Now you could just get murked. You know what I mean? Like, now you're in a you're not going to be sitting in a penthouse divorcing Trump and then go marrying the next billionaire tycoon. Now you're stuck, you know, because what are you going to do? I think that it was great to a certain point, but I think with everything, you only want to get so famous.
I couldn't agree more, dude. I got this project. If it blows up, you'll never hear from me again. I'll be like,
hell yeah, dude.
I'll be gone in the wind, dude.
That's okay. And then when Revenge of the Cis will be like friend of the show. We'll keep calling you friend of the show whenever you do something.
That'll be my new name on shows. Friend of show.
Friend of the show. That's, you know.
How much do you think Trump, like, how do you just obtain Melania? Did you pay her off to Epstein? Because if she's Epstein's fucking side hoe, it's just not.
I'm sure, dude.
Some deals. That's just crazy to be like, that's mine now.
And the reason I bring this up because it will bring us in Eric and Kurt, but they're all MK Ultra sex skins. That's what they are. They're all like top shelf, like insanely hot women that these guys just send in to basically go live with these like super powerful men and manipulate them. I mean,
and they love Slavic women, and they love Slavic women because number one, they don't cry.
Yeah,
they just don't, and they're really not snitches. Yeah. Those two,
they are pretty ride or die.
Yeah, they are. So again, it's like with Erica Kirk. It's like it's coming out more and more that both her parents, just like Obama's mom, and just like Obama, was pimped out by her grandma, his grandpa. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because I told my wife the other day, and it's funny you bring this up. I said, "Hey, honey, if I ever die, I want you to come out to like WWE pyro."
Yeah, dude.
Pyro,
you know?
Hell yeah.
Like, I really want like to milk it. And even like, it's funny because like I always use my parents because they're older as a good, like, see what older people are thinking. And when even my mom's like, I felt bad for that Erica Kirk, but honestly, she's kind of annoying me. And I'm like, okay, now when you're reaching like normie older people that are like, you know, this is getting weird, they got a problem.
Well, I mean, the boomer generation, like, they got psyop so much they destroyed everything, right? Yeah. And you just hear them like they're really like, we gotta get these nukes away from fucking Iran. Like, Harlan Williams is one of the funniest people on planet Earth, but watching him on Rogan, I'm like, bro, what are you saying, dude? Like, it's like you're worried about a country that Netanyahu has been saying for 20 or 30 years is going to get nukes and still doesn't have it. Like, at what point do you not go, maybe this isn't real? I mean, how many times can the boy cry wolf before you stop thinking wolves are coming?
Turns out 109 times.
Yeah. But you go back to Erica Kirk, her parents are both deep in the CIA, deep in the arms dealing, deep into intelligence. And they just basically churned their daughter out, dude. And it's funny because if you go back to Melania, you know she's a shady ass person because they put out a movie about what a good person she is. That's what Hollywood does. Like, look at this wonderful, and they're just the shadiest people you've ever met in your life. You know, it's like how they sold everybody on LBJ, and we just ran this clip on doom scrolling. Dude, he used to walk out to press conferences with his dick out.
Whoa.
He had such a big root. He would walk out to the press conference and the president of the United States would whip his dick out to the press and then tell everybody to follow him to the bathroom. And they would all go in the bathroom with him. Isn't that crazy?
What the fuck?
There's leaked audio of recording of him with his tailor actually talking about how big his hog was. Like, you could go find it. It's very funny. Of him, his tailor being like, "We gonna actually," goes, "Yeah, it's gonna have a big penis." And I'm like, okay, this guy, you know, it was probably a big hog if you're the president. You're walking out there full frontal.
Dog. Big Mike should do that.
What, was it a nice hog? Like,
I mean,
nice piece?
I don't know what.
I think it would be. I mean, you wouldn't do that if it wasn't, right?
Yeah, you would have to be proud of it.
What do you guys think is a nice hawk?
Yeah. What features?
I think it's got to be BSR.
Okay, well, look, not to be gay.
You can be.
But no homo here.
Full homo.
I think that a nice hog in my scenario is uncircumcised the way God intended. So I think that's very important.
I like that.
Okay, yeah, the uncircumcised guys. You got him, dude.
I know he's uncircumcised. He's Hispanic. I'm very aware we're uncircumcised. I know, okay? And it's not anything other than our parents loved us.
Over here, dude.
Our parents loved us.
I also think it's got to be a little bit like it's got to be a little bit full when it's flaccid. You know what I mean? You don't want one that's like shriveled up because if you're walking through, and flopping around.
I think balls also, like if the balls are too big, it's like, ugh.
Balls should be
because you don't want them to, it's like your feature act. You don't want them to overshadow you. You want them to be funny, but not too funny.
Right.
So your balls can't hang over your dick?
You can't have just a beanbag down there.
Yeah. No, because the smaller the potatoes, the bigger the steak looks.
Yeah, I call it ball shaft ratio.
Okay.
You got to have a nice BSR, dude.
But I mean, I measure my dick from my tailbone. So,
yeah, me too, dude. I measure my dick from the other room.
I just want to say that I'm just glad that we gave dignified widow Erica Kirk the dignity she deserved in this segment.
That's about as much as I could muster up for her at this point, the way she's acting. But I want the AI stuff, Charlie, that you've heard, I'm sure, the AI thing where there's a audio recording of Charlie saying, and if anything ever happens to me, I want Erica Kirk to take over TPUSA. And they're
the Jews totally didn't do it.
That part had nothing to do with it.
That was, and Bibi Netanyahu has a big penis. I don't know why that part was added. No, but it's audio, and then they said no. He said it at some sort of private event. But then I think Candace was talking about it. They said no. We talked to people at the private event. This was not there. They said just release the video. If he said it, release the video. They got caught with the. I think TPUSA is falling apart. Because, and again, man, are we going to believe that Charlie Kirk, women shouldn't work, women should be at home, they shouldn't run major? That's how we always talked. He was always that way. Women should be at home, women shouldn't do this. Was like, except my wife. And also, if you're a wife, right, and your husband, and let's say you're a husband, right, and you get murdered because of the job you're doing. Do you really want your wife to be put in that same fucking position with your kids? Like, that sounds crazy to me.
That's a great point, dude.
And I don't think he would have done. I mean, I don't know. Of course, I don't know Charlie, but that doesn't sound like it. Even forget Charlie. Any normal dude who loves his family, like if it happened to me, I wouldn't be like, no, you take over. No, why would I put my wife in that position?
Was she part of the show at all before? Like, was she ever co-host, or would she show up? Like,
no, she would pop in once in a while, but she was never she was just Charlie Kirk's wife.
And it gets really weird because we never see the kids. We never seen their faces. We never seen anything. Now, supposedly, Charlie's mom has the kids, which is convenient. Not that they're never around. It's like, so if we go, how much of this is a facade? How much is this theater? Then you got to ask, how much was Charlie Kirk in on the theater? Like, did he realize that she's an MK Ultra sex kid and set in to seduce him? Are the kids real? If the kids aren't real, he's complicit in a lie. So it's like, how deep does the rabbit hole go?
Well, a lot of stuff changed with Charlie. Remember, I mean, when we used to cover Charlie on our show, he was very, very hardcore pro-Israel, to the point where Nick Fuentes was following him around places trying to debate him. And over time, I think that it's very possible that when he got into it, their views were overlapping. I don't know, but over time, something changed. Even before all the whole leaked text messages and before he died, even Mersh and I were watching. Did Charlie Kirk just say that about Israel? That's weird. He doesn't.
He started saying some shit that was real out of pocket.
And then we were like, okay, kind of base. Where is that coming from? And when Charlie Kirk says it, Mr. Pro-Israel, we used to make fun of him because Charlie Kirk had a very famous quote saying that, America's an idea, but Israel's an actual place. Is an actual quote he said. That's the level of brainwashing that he had.
That is so retarded. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So is it past me that Charlie Kirk was brainwashed? Yeah, probably. I mean, who isn't, Do I think the kids are real? Yes. And here's why. Only reason. Because if you are going to compromise somebody, having actual children with them really lets you control them a lot more than if you don't. I think that's just how I think they operate. You have something to hold over somebody's head. Not that I'm saying Charlie Kirk was completely innocent, because like I said, I don't think anybody is completely innocent. But there are people. I think there are people that get into something not for good reasons, but when it gets too dark, even they go, you know what? I signed up for rah Israel, but not for what we're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So the question becomes this: it's who took him out. I mean, there's some really great guests we've had that are going around and just it's like, it's Tyler Robinson. It's Tyler Robinson. You're like, well, nothing really adds up that says it's Tyler Robinson, except for the FBI telling you it's Tyler Robinson. And, you know, to the point where you wonder if they're doing nonlinear warfare and purposely making the investigation so bad that the conspiracy theorists end up questioning it, and then the normies just end up deep-throating it because they all love authority. So it's like, I mean, it's so bad. The AI, like, I think the AI they have is so good that why would they put out where he's running across the roof and the shadow disappears? Like, why would they do that? Why would he have the gun in his pants and then still jump down and he's able to, you know, bend his legs and then suddenly the gun is flopping or whatever they're saying is happening and it makes no sense. And then he undoes the gun and dismantles it, and then he runs somewhere and puts it back together and then leaves it there. It makes no fucking sense at all. And then they're like, oh, Charlie Kirk his bones are so dense that the bullet didn't go. Then the next day, Tyler Robinson is like, they put out a picture of him literally in front of the Man of Steel.
They call them Superman neck. This is something else that now has been discredited. When this first happened, we covered it on the show. I remember saying that, you know, the doctor and Erica had told the kids that, you know, thank God that Charlie had Superman's neck to stop the bullet and save people's lives. And now I think Erica came out and said, like, no, well, the doctor went rogue and he said that I didn't actually say. It's very weird, like a weird kind of like. It was set up in a way where people go like, oh, you don't believe that other people died. Look, with the Trump one's another one. I mean, listen, would I sit here and believe the fucking narrative of Tyler Robinson more if we didn't have Trump just like ignore his assassination attempts like they were no big deal? When if Thomas Massie just doesn't agree with Epstein, it burns down an entire fucking state,
the whole district.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where we're at. But do I think Tyler Robinson did it? I mean, maybe involved sort of. Do I think he did it alone? No fucking way. I'm sorry. You're not going to sell that to me. And then all those dudes. Remember all those Mersh we covered? Remember those comments in his YouTube chat that were like, "Yeah, dude, you should totally do it. Fuck authority." Like, and then they asked Cash about that. Like, hey, what was that about? And he's like, nothing.
Yeah, no, I never said that.
That was nothing actually. And you're like, okay. I mean, and Kash Patel was probably fucking drunk in his office. They had to use the fucking jaws of life to get him out, so he's not paying attention. And why the fuck is Utah police, the FBI is doing this weird thing where they're not involved, but they are involved, you know? Kind of take the heat off of them, but also kind of control the narrative and not release anything.
You know, it's so crazy how corrupt Utah is. Like, we always saw Mormons, and Mormons are great people, dude. Like, I met Mormons for the first time in Vegas, and they were the best. But man, you go to Utah like this. We're probably talking on Broken Sim. I sent that video to you, Johnny. But the Lego disaster.
Yeah, it's funny. I almost sent it to you also. But
how deep did you guys go down that rabbit hole? I went deep, dude. It's nuts.
Let's talk about that. That Lego thing is fucking the Mormon mafia, whatever you want to call it, in that town that they're trying to completely screw this Lego business is insane. It's insane.
So nuts, dude. It's so nuts.
We should briefly explain it, right?
Yeah, go for it, Johnny.
Well, okay, so this old guy had the best Star Wars collection.
He had the largest collection of Star Wars Legos in the world.
Couple $100,000 is what
200 grand.
He entered into a consignment agreement with Bricks and Minifigs, I think it's called, this store in Oregon. And
it's a franchise. It's a franchise.
It's a franchise, yeah. And then the national franchise owner, I guess, came in, took over the store, and then when that guy came to say, like, hey, you know, what's the deal with the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Lego that is basically my father's life savings, they were like, and they have this recording. I can't believe they have a recording of this. This guy telling him to kick rocks. It'll take you more in attorney's fees to get them back than you could ever hope to make on the Lego. You might as well just let us have them. I mean, just admitting. They got him admitting to stealing the Legos right there. And it's all, and so that guy reaches out to a YouTuber, Reckless Ben, I think is the guy's name, right? And this YouTuber has been trying everything imaginable to get these things back. And eventually, I guess to elude this whole legal situation, they take the Legos back to Utah. And so this guy, the YouTuber, goes to Utah to try to get them, and he's like trying. It eventually,
it's a long video.
To boil it down, he gets to small claims court. He realizes that, if he takes kind of ownership of the Legos himself, and then allows, because in small claims court you can sue for up to 10 grand, and he has a bunch of other people sue separately, and then they just went on default is the idea, because the other guy's not showing up. So they go there but they have to serve this guy. They have to prove that legally they've tried to make a good faith effort to resolve it out of court, and the guy just won't let them see him. And he goes there with a process server, and the cops show up and say, "Hey man, you're
trespassing.
You're trespassing." So he gets trespassed, and he's not allowed to go on this guy's property.
So he can't serve him.
Right, and they won't let the process server serve him. And the cops pretend to be helpful. They're like, "Well, you hand us those papers, we'll take them in." And they go to take them in. They come back to him, and they're like, "He doesn't want them," And the guy's like, "They're papers. Nobody wants legal papers. You just drop them at their feet."
I wish I could have done that a couple years ago.
Yeah, don't we all? Yeah, I got a couple myself. But that's just so the cops then pull them over on what is the most bogus. You can see on the cameras the most bogus rolling stop
Cali roll.
Yeah, Cali roll.
It's called Cali roll. Yeah. When you just
but he didn't do it. They didn't do it. They stopped.
They stopped. It was the car literally stopped.
And they have the cops on body cam saying, "Yeah, we do things a little differently here in Utah." And I mean, and apparently now they won't admit to this, but the guy that they're in this legal battle with told the cops that they would have heroin on them. So they just go through this whole search, the car, stripping down the car, and it's the straight edge guy that they're convinced has the heroin, the guy that absolutely wouldn't. And they're like, "Well, your pupils are constricted," and they have a fake dog hit, because dogs.
Fake dog hits.
That happens all the
it's
time.
a scam. It's just an excuse police use to search your car illegally. But yeah, so and the latest is that this guy has been so twisted up, the YouTuber, in this legally. I mean, he got swatted.
He got swatted. It was crazy.
They swatted the guy.
Yeah, and he's now in legal trouble because of a number of reasons. He's reached out to John Bryan, who we've had on this podcast.
The civil rights guy.
The civil rights attorney. Yeah, and he's now kind of helping him out, getting connected with the right people in the right states to get. But it's just the
thing is, all the cops that were involved are all part of the Mormon Church, and and the guy is also too. So it's like they're all kind of connected. So the Mormon Church kind of controls what happens, and they protect each other, akin to what happens here in Florida in Clearwater. If you're like Scientology territory, the cops will, trust me, always side with Scientology.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, it happens here all the time. It happens all the time. Like Tyler Oliveira actually went to Clearwater and tried to, just talk to people in Scientology, do everything legal, and the cops were like, 100%, because what happens is Scientology, it's like they tell you, well, yeah, we're not paid off, but of course they donate the most to the police department. Yeah. They donate gymnasiums and stuff like that. So they get off with that. And that's kind of what's happening in Utah. So all these cops either go to the church or they know people in the church, and they're all connected and they're all trying to protect this. I think the mistake that happened was they didn't expect it to blow up the way it did.
Yeah. It's huge now.
Yeah, and they have him in court, the YouTuber, and they won't tell him why. And the prosecutor says, well, you would use it for clicks and views, and we don't want that. So they can't tell him exactly why they keep summoning him to court to defend it. I mean, it makes no sense.
Which brings us back to Tyler Robinson and all the crazy stuff going on with that case, in that his public defender or his attorney is connected some weird way to TPUSA in some weird...
Really?
Yeah, there's some weird connection there that they're like brothers or cousins. Shit. And it's just like, they're just going to railroad this kid. They're just going to force it down everybody's throats. And So he either wanted to block something from being seen, or Taylor wanted something to be seen, and they ruled against him. And it's like, dude, I remember when the Israeli like beeper situation happened, and I would go on all these huge shows, and they were just like, dude, that shit's incredible. It's amazing. I go, hey, bro, watch yourself. Because if they could do it to some random people in Lebanon, they could do it to fucking you. And anything in here could be turned into a weapon real fucking quick. And then sure as shit, here's Charlie Kirk, and that fucking thing just explodes into his neck. And like, it's crazy. And then of course, Twitter, which is a trauma deliverance system, just made us all watch it 1,000 fucking times.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just
That was
crazy.
a rough day.
That was we were recording. We canceled one of the shows because we didn't want to talk about it. But I mean, just absolute insanity, and how everyone's moved on from that fucking public execution. And it gets into like kind of thing where I've been saying, like, if they want you dead, you're dead. You don't get out of there. There were fucking people all over that place. And somehow Charlie Robinson survives that. They fucking have another guy somewhere else making sure he dies in the car.
Well, don't forget the guy that yelled out. It was me, or was that old man that yelled out that all of a
and
sudden
then they hit him with CP charges, so he never gets out of jail.
We had the dude that was doing the hand signals too and shit. The whole thing was weird.
And
it was. And you know, the sad part is you don't want to feel that way. You don't want to feel like, but now you're to the point where like, it sucks that I'm at the point when I don't believe any official story, and it's probably detrimental to me, because there probably is stuff that is true. But I'm sorry, you lied to me so much. Anything something happens, I won't believe it. Now you're telling me there's aliens. Yeah, fuck you. That was cool 10 years ago. If you tell me there's aliens now, like, I don't know that shit going on, man. I don't care. Honestly,
we are so distracted, dude. We are so distracted.
Yo.
And like, dude, anytime there's a giant trauma event, I go to Instagram and see how the hoes are taking it. The Instagram, they're all ass up, face down. They don't give a shit. I don't even know why they're slow rolling it out. Nobody fucking cares.
You know what they say? Hoes never change. Like, you know what? War and hoes never change. It doesn't matter.
Because they know if the aliens do come, they're still going to get set up. Aliens want to bang hot chicks too. I mean,
amen.
Right? It's my old joke that, like, if Darth Vader came down and took over, he'd be at the Laker game with 5 of the hottest chicks you've ever seen in your life. And they would all still be set up. Just like the Nazis in France. Nazis came in, all the hot chicks started banging the Nazis. And then the Nazis lost, and they got their head shaved in shame because they were fucking Nazis. But again,
and they're free, and they're freaks, so they like to be force choked. So
yeah, they're like, oh, more dada, more dada. Was that French? I don't know. But
I don't know what
the point is. Oui. How's that, dude?
That's good. Nailed it. No, if you were French, it would be Arabic.
Yeah. I mean, this is all like, dude, it's so funny. So we were talking about Kurt Metzger told me that the guy who wrote that UN summary about a population, what's it called? Where they're trying to replacement theory.
Replacement theory, yeah.
Was Eric Weinstein wrote that. Isn't that crazy? Like, the guy who goes and is on every show trying to warn us about the elites. He's the one who allegedly wrote that document about what they're going to do with replacement theory.
You mean the only guy who's trying to say that Epstein wasn't Mossad? That
that guy.
I've given up on Jews with that. I like, okay, your factory setting, it makes it impossible for you to agree with that. It's
and you know what's so fucking stupid about that? It's like, as an American, it's so super simple. Go, the CIA did that. Yeah, probably. Like, we don't argue that way. We're like, yeah, probably. Yeah. No, yeah, it was probably the CIA. They do that shit all the time. And when you go, it was the Mossad. Like, there's no way. We've never done anything. Come on, man.
Well,
like,
his argument is they're not allowed to operate. They would never be allowed to operate on American soil. Are you stupid?
They think we're stupid.
Oh, yeah, they're not allowed.
I mean, Ben Shapiro has completely cratered. Ben Shapiro,
everything. Yeah.
Barry Weiss, Laura Loomer have all cratered their following.
Yes,
and they don't care.
Loomer's face cratered too. Whatever's going on there is not.
Yeah,
she's not even Jewish. She converted.
I know. You saw that photo of her. You saw that photo of her in high school with a cross on her neck. That was hilarious.
I mean, it's just even like more disgusting. It's like you're treasonous to your own people. it's crazy to me. And
she's not Jewish because she doesn't have rockin' knockers, and that's how I know she's not. Because you're Jewish, you have nice knockers.
Yeah, it's almost an automatic. I grew up in Long Island, and they always had
Jew
good
tits
titties.
are fire, bro.
The best, dude. Nothing better than fucking Jew tits in a convertible Mustang. That's everywhere here.
Well, that's crazy because we don't have convertibles out here. Like,
we do.
I was talking about this the other day. It's like, oh, you see a couple old cars, but there's no convertibles in LA. When do you see convertibles? I never see convertibles.
It's easier to it's easier to carjack you.
I was
Probably.
about to say, I'd be scared of the homeless fucking up my rooftop. Just slid it real fast.
Maybe.
I like those Waymos that you guys have that are just homeless, sleeping, moving homeless encampments now.
Yeah, they found that homeless guy in the trunk just
Sleeping in the back of a Waymo, and the lady's like, "What the fuck, man?"
Well, you just got to get in because then you know who's going to kick you out.
What are your
Robot cars are safe. They'll control them and drive them to a wall if you don't like Israel. So it's awesome.
What is your take on the data centers? It's like so crazy how it's so.
I'm a hypocrite. I'll tell you what I'm a hypocrite. I think so why because I hate the data centers, but also I'm like, oh, the simplest task. Let me burn up a bunch of water and a bunch of power to ask Rock. I'm an asshole. It's like Amazon. I hate Amazon, but I use it.
Yeah.
But okay, so
You use Grok, Mersh, right? You use Grok all the time.
Oh yeah, I have Super Grok now. I'm obsessed.
you pay $300 a month.
No, 40.
40. No, they have one that's 30. It's not the Pro Grok. I was like 300. Yeah, they have one.
Oh, that's one above it. No, not that one. No.
Oh,
what can Super Grok do for you?
Nothing. I mean, it's the same. It's not much different than ChatGPT or anything else.
They're all kind.
He just talks to me like a 19-year-old Zoomer kid. And he's like, yeah, bro, no cap. Like this week has been pretty fucking it's pretty awesome.
Bet.
So on the data centers, there's no. Obviously, we don't want them. But the thing is, if we don't want them and China keeps making them, isn't that bad for us because they're going to get better?
Dude,
in technology?
you are just deep throating just psyops, dude.
Well, they're like homeless shelters. I know we need them. I just don't want them near me.
Yeah, and it's also that's that. Who are you, Steph Curry, the guy who loves everybody until they try to put a homeless center in his fucking neighborhood, and then suddenly he's a fascist.
Mersh loves black chicks, so he might be.
Who doesn't, dude? Hot blacks?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go, dude.
Right on.
We need more hot black fans, dude. But it's crazy because like they pounded us with climate change and the environment, and now they want to put in these things that just destroy the environment. Like, hey man, you want to get a job at a data center? Yeah, awesome. What's it pay? $100 an hour. Oh fuck yeah! 3 months later, dead from cancer. Like, how are you not going to get just completely zapped working there?
Also, talk about training your replacements. You're worried about training Indian replacements. You're training AI to replace you, which is even worse.
But now they're coming out that it's not working. And this is my whole thing. It's just like everybody's worried about AI. And like, I get it. But it's like, it just reminds me of the Cold War where we're just worried about nukes. And then what? What happened? I mean, we basically propped up Russia to just be able to compete with us so we can build our own nukes. Like, these AIs, like, dude, I catch it all the time lying, dude. If I can catch you and I'm retarded, like,
what's that dude's name? Do you guys follow? I think his name is Husk. That all he does is show how much AI just fucking lies.
Oh, that guy is amazing.
It lies like all the time to you. It was like, hey, can you time me running? Okay, I'm done. How long was that? 7 minutes ago. It was like a minute. What are you talking about? And
they did that to Sam Altman. He's like,
Okay, so AI kind of sucks. I would agree, but your weed guy showed me this AI machine that's worth like $1 million. That's literally putting small nugs of weed in one category. It's literally looking at all the nugs of weed and it's literally moving them and putting them in where they're supposed to go. And it's $1 million company, $1 million machine. And I'm like, holy fuck!
How much could you have to pay a person to do that?
It takes a lot. No, you got a lot of workers. So
minimum wage, right? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he's got this machine, and I'll show it to you. It's nuts. Where AI is literally just putting the weed where it goes, what strains where, and I'm like, yo, it's taking over a lot of jobs. I really do think it's going to come after people's jobs.
Oh no, it for sure is. Yeah.
I mean, look, yeah, but it's going to take a lot of small menial jobs. But the problem is like I think like their problem with AI is that even though you saw like that University of South Florida when that boomer was trying to like an AI is the future and all the Zoomers just booed her like boo.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah.
Look, man, I think Zoomers get a lot of shit You know, I think it's unfair, some of the shit that they get. But we're giving him a shit world, man. We are giving him fucking garbage and going like, hey, you just went to school for 4 years. Guess what? AI is going to replace you. Good luck, motherfuckers. And yeah, they're turning against it too, because at the end, like, you know, you're telling kids that already can't buy a fucking house that, oh yeah, also AI is going to take your job. And I will agree with what you said. I was talking to my wife about this too. It's like, but yeah, there's the other thing of like, if, you know, you do believe that China is doing that, do you really want them to be ahead of you? I don't know, but I also don't want to turn into China to be China. That's the other fucking problem I have.
Yeah.
But it's also like, you know, here's the problem. China, during the 100 Flowers, they just got rid of everybody that was creative. They're like, who hates the government? Everyone's like, me hate government. And then they just slaughtered all of them. So, like, China doesn't innovate. China has to wait for us to come up with an idea, and then they just make it better.
And cheaper.
I mean, how many Nobel Peace Prize winners are out? Even though that doesn't mean anything anymore, they're putting Zelensky up for a fucking Nobel Peace Prize. Guy's killed 1.5 million of his own people. Like, oh, you're bringing peace to the world, you fucking piece of shit. You piece of shit. And it's just
he's literal garbage.
What if it's the piece of shit prize? And we just they abbreviated it.
Yeah, Nobel Peace shit or whatever it's called. Yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy, man. I don't know, man. China has its own problems right now. It's like
no, they do. Look, I even in the beginning, we were never really big on the China scare in general, where everyone was like, China's going to do this and that. I go, look, here's the thing. Here's our protective layer as Americans, and people have to.
I do wish they didn't make like 90% of our antibiotics.
That's
like,
kind of
that would be
like
cool.
that. That's pretty
That'd be
bad.
cool if they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it is.
The China stuff is like I get like, yeah, man, look, here's the reason why we're gonna be protected for the most part. China's never gonna fucking attack us like with a war or anything like that. They're not, because the one thing that protects us is we're like that fat Wall-E future. We're all consumerists. They need us or they don't make money. We buy all their shit.
Yeah.
So there's only a certain level that you could actually degrade us without hurting themselves.
The world economy.
Yeah, that's the only thing that we're such a fat consumerist. You know what I mean? That they're like, we got to sell to somebody, and if the biggest fucking whale goes, you know, there goes the entire Dabbleverse.
No,
I'm sorry,
totally
fucking China. Sorry.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm with you on that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that for sure. It's. I just don't believe everything they've ever told us is going to happen. Never happens.
No, what do you mean? Iran's just 5 days away from a nuke, dude. What are you talking about?
5 days away, 30 years from now.
Yeah, fucking.
What's your take on the war?
BB had dark hair when he was still saying that. Well, my take on the war, it's fucking bullshit. It was coming. They literally have already made a list of countries they want to invade. Say what you want about Trump, but at least first term Trump slowed it down a little bit.
Yeah, this time he just hit the gas.
Yeah, now they're making up for lost time, and they pushed in him. Trump now is in that legacy part. He wants a legacy. He wants a monument. He wants to. We talk about putting his name on the Kennedy Center, which is like giving yourself a nickname, which is fucking cringe. But he now cares about that, and even asked him about the midterms. He doesn't fucking care about the midterms. Nobody cares. He is controlled. He wants when he leaves for everybody to be set. I don't think that Trump. Here's what I think, and I don't think that Trump has underage videos with girls. I don't think any of that stuff. I don't think if it was that, honestly, I know this sounds shitty, I would actually have a little more respect. I get it, man. You're protecting yourself. But it's not that. It's worse. He just wants to be cool. Trump has always wanted people that dislike him to end up liking him. He looked up to these.
You know what it is? It's the Howard Stern effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you go from being this outsider to eventually you're saying like, you know, I'm going to get the vaccine, Robin. I'm going to have to get the right vaccine. And that's
he's dancing with Ellen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, you know, again, if you had the election today, Kamala Harris versus Trump, I still think Trump would win. I still think
she's a historically bad candidate.
She's just garbage. Everything about her is garbage. You know, she's the Chelsea Handler of politics. She fucked her way to the top, and now she's lecturing us on shit. And it's just like, just be a mattress warrior. We don't care. We actually like that. We would be like, hey, dude, be the chick who's known for fucking this guy or that guy. There's something that's cool. Good.
Some honor there. Yeah.
There's some honor there, dude. You were so hot. This alpha banged you. Good for you. Stop lecturing us.
Do you buy this falling out between? Because Trump confirmed today that he called Netanyahu fucking crazy on the phone. and that Trump claims that he got them to turn back soldiers that were on their way to Beirut. Do you buy that they've had a big falling out?
I mean, like, it's costing him everything.
And I think
I mean, he can't go to a stadium without getting booed now.
Yeah.
And you know that fucks
he can't go to UFC, bro. UFC is like, historically that place loved him, and he can't go anywhere.
Yeah, Florida was not nice to him.
No, and that's Florida. That's his hometown, like his home base now, and it's he knows he fucked up. I think he knows he fucked up. And with Trump, the most frustrating part is that for me is like, I think other people like the neocons and the Mitt Romneys and all these people are actually inherently these evil fucking people. I think Trump is just the end game narcissist level of what happens, where it's like, everything I have. Look, everybody wants to be fucking president. How many billionaires, Howard Stern, how many billionaires have wanted to be president, you know? And he pulled it off. He kind of feels bulletproof, and he got 2 people that supposedly shot him. He feels bulletproof. Actually, I'll tell you this. I think that the Trump assassination attempt, I think that was all fake and set up. I don't even think he knew about it.
Well, there's this Kabbalah ritual called it's basically this act of servitude where you cut your fucking left ear and it bleeds out, and that's a fucking Jew magic fucking ritual, dude. Like, I wouldn't doubt if that's a part of it. To play the game so they don't fucking take him out. But at some point, people are going to be over this Israel shit. And they're not going to be able to buy they can only buy their way through with the illusion. And if it's like, you can go to Thomas Massie and drop 10,000 fucking ballots for whatever his opponent's name is. That's feasible. But if nobody's voting for your guy because you're so toxic, it's going to happen. And like I always tell my Jewish friends, I'm like, you got to do something, dude, because it's going to get really bad soon. If you don't start calling out these fucking neocon Zionists who look at everybody like fucking cattle, you're going to find it. You're going to hear it's going to get really crazy. You're basically going to be like white people.
And you don't want to be like white people.
You don't want to be like white people.
You want to be.
Again, it goes back to the roast. It's like you have a stage full of multi-millionaires. Everybody up there is minimum 7 figures. They have 7 figures in their bank account, minimum, and they're crying about oppression. They're crying about hate. Dude, that's not hate, dude. That's equality right there. You're all equally getting lit the fuck up. I don't know what you think equality looks like, because that looked like it to me.
Well, I agree with what you said, and they do have a problem because, like, once the boomers go bye-bye in their forever box, they don't have any young support. They're done. Yep, like, that's there's no new people. They are right now at the end stage of what they can pull off. That's why they're trying to commingle the militaries. That's why they're trying to do this now, because they know that this whole...
they're trying to fast-track it.
Exactly. The guilting people stuff is not going to work anymore. So now they're going to have to make it law, make anti-Semitism law. That way it's not going to matter if everyone's against you.
Yeah, everyone's worried about Sharia law. How about Noahide laws? These are actually meeting with even your governor, even fucking that cripple in Texas. They can't. They're just all playing ball because they know that's power. But that's coming to an end, dude. And like, I'm sorry, Iran is never talking about nuking us. Israel can't stop talking about nuking us. They're like multiple cities, dude. It could be like a Nuka-Palooza over there, dude. LA, New York, Chicago. It's like, so you're going to hit these headquarters of your most powerful people. You're going to hit them with a fucking nuke. Do you really you guys are psychopaths.
They might. Yeah, they might.
Well, you're going to know something's going on when all of a sudden you see empty synagogues. You're like, where is everybody?
So do you think the next president is going to be pro-Israel or anti-Israel? President?
I don't know, dude. They're still holding on to it. Like, listen, my issues with Thomas Massie is he was a Freemason as a teenager. He was deep into that shit very fucking early. The death of his wife, he disappears. He comes back with a giant glow up. He's got a tan, a new haircut. He's banging all the hot senators. It's like, that's if we're gonna call out Erica Kirk for having weird reactions to your spouse dying, Thomas Massie is right fucking there, dude. Right
but I hear you. I hear you. But if Lauren Boebert goes up to you, ain't smashing. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, I'm
here. We're
totally
smashing.
knocking it out.
After that theater video, dude,
Yeah, I'm
or
getting
going for the
hand
guy-
jobs
Bro,
on
she
Broadway,
has a
dude.
full tribal tattoo.
Down her whole body.
Got her body. Look her up in a bikini. She looks like Mersh said the other day. She looks
I
like
have.
Goldberg's arm.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And it also gets down to like, we've said this on the show a bunch of times about how like, if it's everyone's like, if Kamala was in, this wouldn't happen. It's like, dude, he was literally called Genocide Joe. Joe Biden led to 1.5 million white Christians being slaughtered in the Ukraine. And I'm sorry, Putin's working with them on it. They want new Israel over there. But if you had Kamala Harris in, the only difference between Trump and Kamala Harris's cabinet is Kamala's would be fucking fat lesbians, trans, and BLM. And Trump's is just closeted gays and whores.
Well, that's the only reason we didn't even go to war. And they said Biden wouldn't have gone to Iran only because COVID happened. Because if it didn't, he would have. That's the only. That's what I believe. If he didn't, we needed something. We already had. You don't want to waste two things. So you do one at a time because your tragedies get stretched out more, or your world events happen. So when COVID's happened, let's not waste Iran now. We could control them with COVID, and then once COVID, everyone's like, this is gay, and it's like, hey, Iran time, and then after Iran, the next one will be Turkey, and then we're gonna keep going.
But they also needed October 7th because that kicks off like, oh my God, they're attacking us, and then it becomes this move to like New Israel, or Greater Israel, which is them bombing 5 of their fucking neighbors and crying about getting attacked. The game. It's over, dude. It's over.
Neighbors that have our fucking bases there too. It's not just the neighbors. Like it's like our fucking allies. People that are actually our allies, unlike Israel.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because like, it's like Tony Hinchcliffe's new special's coming out, and his promo for it is him about to light up Jews. He's like, I made fun of blacks, I made fun of Asians, I made fun of blah, blah, blah. I know what you're thinking. Where are the Jew jokes? That's his promo, dude. Like, it's over, dude.
It's safe now, is what you're saying. It's over. Look, dude, back in the day,
it's over.
The way we're fucking talking now, we would have got a strike on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking over, dude.
What happened there, by the way? Do you think they just saw that people were leaving and they needed to keep that influence?
That's why they brought the Rogan verse in. Because they lost everybody.
YouTube has ran at a loss for so many years for Google. They lost money for so many years. YouTube was never about making money for Google, excuse me. YouTube has always lost money for them. YouTube was about control. The problem is if you start kicking off too many people, you cannot control them anymore because they're not watching your shit anymore.
Yes, you
need to bring people back because sure, you're going to watch a Nick Fuentes video, but the next recommended one will be Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've been saying this on the show is that, Hollywood's problem isn't that these movies are losing money. Their problem is that nobody's watching their shit. So they can't propagandize us anymore. Like One Battle After Another, that was meant to piss everybody off about ICE, and nobody watched it. So they can't propagandize us anymore. They just clean up their red. They just get an influx of fucking Fed funny money, cleans up the books. They're back to zero. It's like Mandani when he's like, I balanced the budget in New York City. He's like, no, you didn't. You got fucking $14 billion from the state of New York. And he cleaned up your fucking thing. You didn't do anything. It's a total bullshit lie. Same thing with Hollywood. All these companies run at a loss because they're money laundering. That's it. Like, oh, we spent $1 billion on this movie. You spent $200 million and the rest went to these black op operations. It's total bullshit. But nobody's watching it anymore. So it's YouTube did it and then fucking Netflix did it. Like, hey, look at us, dude. You look at all these edgy, and they're all my friends, and I'm happy they're getting on there.
No, hey man, get paid. Look, I've always said people are like, oh, I'm too. No, get the bag, always get it, get the money. You should always, because dry times are gonna come again. 100%. I never begrudge. People go like, sometimes it happens like, can you believe somebody did somebody's show that you made fun of? I'm like, yeah, good for them. Like, I would never
those numbies, dude.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Who cares? Like, this is not the way it works. You're like, get it. I don't care if you're on. Like, one of my friends, I think Netflix is retarded. But if Mersh goes, hey man, they gave us, I'd be like, yep, we're signing it. We're in Netflix tomorrow. Sounds amazing. We're a Netflix show now. Sounds awesome.
100%. And they need that shit. And it's like really interesting how the roast happens. And then the next day, Chud the Builder gets, interrogated by the FBI. And then the next day after that, he's shooting somebody. It's like this kind of like the racial shit is already like really fucking crazy. And I love black people, but they're being babies. They're just babies, dude. I mean, it's just like, I'm sorry, guys. It's like, you've been protected from criticism forever. That's fucking gone. Now it's like everyone could talk about everybody.
Oh yeah, everybody's getting that black fatigue.
Yeah, dude,
setting in.
Yeah,
no, but the word we've talked about on the show. The people suffering the most, black people who got their shit together, because then I hear them complaining the most. Like, you're making us all look retarded. Can we fucking stop now? Even Kevin Hart had to be like, the George Floyd joke was fine. It was my thinking. All these white people shut the fuck up about it.
Dude, for real.
And the funniest thing is,
you guys haven't tried the Kool-Aid pineapple?
Listen.
All I see on my timeline right now.
What is Kool-Aid pineapple?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So they're getting nice pineapple that's sweet and juicy, and they're making Kool-Aid and putting the pineapple in the Kool-Aid and then drinking it and then eating it like that. As in making
what
it
does
sweeter.
This have to do with anything, though?
It's just viral, and it's the new thing where it's like
black people just love.
Yeah, you get it in the ghetto.
new-
You get it
it's-
in the ghetto. They're literally just ruining pineapple. Something that's
Yeah,
great.
it's the new thing where black people take a thing that's perfectly healthy and they make it unhealthy.
Yeah, they'll let it marinate. They'll let it marinate overnight,
Yeah,
and then
hold
they'll
on.
sell it in the
Mexicans
hood.
can't talk, dude. You guys put
Yeah.
bacon and butter on fucking everything. You guys do that.
I'm sorry, but
Hell yeah, that shit's good for you.
As a fellow spick, I will tell you that you're naming good things, putting on stuff. Oh, bacon and stuff. Yeah, that's great. That's normal stuff. We've cooked there for years. I never said, you know what this pineapple needs? Kool-Aid. Like
More sugar. Like it's not sweet enough.
No,
Yeah,
have you seen the Kool-Aid pickles? Those are Kool-Aid pickles. Are real too.
Unbelievable. Let's end it on this. Fat people at Disney. What do you guys think?
Oh my god, dude! We covered these fucking park slop. We call them the park sloppers, but those plus size park hoppers. Very beginning, they're like couple views. We were covering these people, and it became a phenomenon of people noticing how fat these people are, and they are getting big. And you think you go to a theme park and you figure, man, I'm gonna go to a theme park. I'm gonna walk around. I can eat whatever I want. I'm gonna walk like 30,000 steps. Who gives a shit? Not if you're on a mobility scooter and weigh 500 pounds. And there's an entire ecosystem on Instagram where they go online and complain how theme parks don't fit their fat asses. That is a big.
That's where we lost, dude.
They will go and legit review restaurants, and they'll review them based on things like how many stairs there are, and like whether or not the chairs have arms.
Because they can't fit.
It's really funny.
Yeah, no, I follow these ladies that they're really big, they're like obese, and they go to parks, and then they sit on the ride because you know how sometimes they don't work. They do it for other fat people so they don't have to embarrass themselves. They're like embarrassing themselves for other fat people. Be like,
they're civil rights leaders?
Yeah, they're like at Disney on this ride you don't fit. So if you're over 300 pounds, don't even sit on it because I did it for you type of thing.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, they're like Malcolm Triple XLs.
I was gonna say Rosa National Park.
That's another good one. I like that one.
Have you if you go to Costco in LA, especially if you go in the OC, it's nothing but people on the fat Mexicans and black people on those scooters, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, Disney. To get a cart at Disney, you don't have to prove anything. They just give it to you, and they're running around, and they're also entitled, and they also run over your feet, and they don't wait in line, and they are the worst kind of people. And like you said, if you look at the comments, it's other fat people saying, "You go, girl, yeah, you go, queen, you're killing it."
Typing
and the plus
out
size
of
park
breath,
hoppers-
just typing is too much.
You're
Too
killing
much
it.
activity today.
The plus size park hoppers are very funny because at one point, we live in Florida too, and they go to Disney all the time. And one time we were over at Hollywood Studios, just walking around, and we see that they're there. I'm there with my wife, and my wife is in very good shape, right? She just did a bikini bodybuilding. She's really, really fit, right? And she's like, okay. And I go, well, they know what I look like, because they've blocked me. And I'm like,
Who's
fine.
blocked to?
The plus size park hoppers blocked me. And then my wife went and found them and pretended she was a super fan and took a photo. And I'll send you the photo later. If you want to see what a normal person looks like next to these people, it is
brutal.
It is fucking brutal. Oh, they also try to give us a strike because we were making fun of us. YouTube goes, "Oh, you're bullying," and I'm like, "The fuck I am! I will sue you." Then they remove the strikes. I'll sue your fat asses to the ground, fatzos.
I put a meme up that I found. It was toilets of the world, and it was like they had 4 pictures. One was American toilet, the white toilet. Then the other one was a Chinese toilet. It was a hole, and then there was a Japanese toilet, which is like some futuristic trough where you kind of get on top of it and do your deal. And the last one said Saudi Arabia, and it was white Instagram models, right? And right, and I posted it. It was flying up, and then Instagram hit me with a fucking strike saying I was bullying. Like, who am I bullying? The porta potty
Toilets.
people? Toilets?
Yeah, I would argue that the Saudi people are bullying. Be the one shitting on people. You're just pointing it out. If anything, you're a hero. You're a civil rights leader.
I really am, for fucking common sense, dude. It's like unbelievable, dude. And it's just like, to wrap it up, it's like Instagram is just kneecapping the jesters. They're like anybody who talks any real truth, like real truth. Not like this weird conspiracy. Have you heard about how everybody's racist and homophobic? Like, that's the real conspiracy. Yeah. Like, you're a real conspiracy theorist if you think society is racist, society is bigoted, homophobic, anti-Semitic. You're believing that entire groups of people are conspiring against your one group for no reason. None. It's like, well, you know, it's like, I got a lot of Jewish friends. They're like, they hate us. I'm like, why? Why do they hate you? And they're like, and it's always like, well, we're successful. And it's like, you sound like Carlos Mencia when he was getting taken out. And he's like, they just hate me because I'm famous and killing it. You're like, no, you steal jokes. Nobody hates you because you're doing well. There's a bunch of people doing well. You know, you're an asshole.
Ari had such a great joke when the Kanye thing came out in relation to what you just said. Or he was like, wait, because the Kanye thing, like, you know, the whole Kanye Nazi thing happened while he was like filming a special, and he was like the Jew special, which is hilarious, by the way,
which is an all-time banger,
one of the best. But when he was going like, yeah, you know, Kanye says, wait, but hold on a second. Jews can be annoying. What did we do? And that was like such a real, like, hold on, we are annoying though. And that was okay. That made me, that like, hold on, what do we do? Like, I want to hear it because,
100%.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Listen, you know what? I am Cuban, and if you're on a Carnival cruise with me, I understand where you're going to be allowed bad at my family. We're loud, and I reckon, and I will apologize to you. You know, I will. I won't steal your bike, but you know, of different cultures. You know.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy, man. It's like a crazy time, dude. Guys, great show. Glad we finally made it happen. One more time, can you tell us where they can find you?
Yeah, we go live now at 4 p.m. Eastern time over on YouTube, Revenge of the Cis. Today's our local show, but most days, Monday through Friday, we go live over there. And Mersh does Nightwave at 10 p.m. and I do Daywave at 10 a.m.
Oh, nice. It's on the same channel?
Yeah, just on YouTube. You can search Daywave or Nightwave. But if you go to the Revenge of the Cis one, all our stuff's linked there. So,
are you guys getting any love on YouTube?
We you know what? We were kicked off for 2 years.
They're staying out of our way, which is all we ask for.
All we ask for is, hey man, monetize me and leave me alone, and that'll be good. That's all I want. I don't need anything extra special. Just leave me alone.
Now that you were kicked off, were you one of the people who got their
No. Do you want to laugh? I got our channel back before they announced that we were getting strikes, and the last strike we got was for, and I shit you not, was for cyberbullying Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding you. It's a 14-minute video we did where only person we talked about was Jeffrey Epstein, and they go, "This is cyberbullying," and that was the last strike. Took the account away, and we were gone for 2 years. We were only on Rumble for 2 years, and then for some reason, our buddy Alex Rosen, Predator Poachers, awesome. Shout out to Alex Rosen, he's the man. He was like, hey man, they gave me my channel back. You should try. And I went and found a 2-year-old email to appeal. And I go, let me appeal. And I go, hey, blah, 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 we're mass flagged. And they go, the next morning I called Mersh. I go, you're not going to fucking believe what happened. They gave us her channel back, took all the strikes away and monetized us. And I'm like,
insane.
Okay. Thank you. And since then, you know, I would say we're
stay out of our way.
Just leave me alone.
It's weird because there's this thing called tombstone algorithms where they don't forget about you. And like, we're still under the fucking gun. And it's so crazy that we have to allow a fan to post all of our shit just to get more views. And it's just like, I don't know anyone else who has to do that. Because they'll like, our episode will fly and then it just stops.
Oh, they'll cut it off. That happens to us.
Yeah, that still happens to us.
We don't get when we were first started doing the show. When we hit the blow up point. We would have been if they didn't do that whole shadow ban us and demonetize us. We would have been so. But I'm not blowing our own horn. I'm just saying, just looking at numbers, you could see growth, right? And then one day after the same moment when I think it was Crowder got into that fight with Carlos Mazza and they demonetized the great demonetization of YouTube. Ever since that moment, our algorithm just went, we get some views and some new people, but not that much. And yeah, we're not going to be, put it to you this way. I'm sure just like us, your video's not going to come up next when somebody's watching another video.
No, it sucks, dude.
That's where you want to be if you want views.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. All right, guys. Great show. Thanks for coming on.
Hell yeah, man.
Had a great time, dude. Glad we finally can make it happen. And
seriously, appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
Anytime, all the time. Open door, dude. Let's go. Let's break down the episode. All right. What'd you guys think of the Revenge of the Cis, dude? I love those guys. It was fun.
It was fun, yeah. Like he said, it was just like a hang.
A nice hang. Conspiracy hang.
Yeah.
The whole key is like, what am I going to call that episode? That's why I'm going on right now.
So many choices.
Lego Wars. I was thinking about calling it Garbage People. Just fat people at fucking Walt Disney, people stealing Legos.
Oh, dude, we went all over the place. I didn't think we were going to touch on the Lego scandal here. I thought that's like a more broken.
I mean, dude, it is blowing up, dude.
Nuts.
Oh, is it?
I mean, dude, everyone's making content because it's so nuts.
Is it the John Bryan video that's going around, the civil rights lawyer?
That's one, and then everyone, like all these huge content people are talking about, because especially guys love Legos. We grew up on Legos. Imagine having $200,000 worth of Legos, and then someone just steals them from you.
And the guy is in the audio, like, fuck you, come try to get him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm stealing your Legos. And I don't understand why that's just not open and shut
then
legally.
to run to Utah thinking you're safe.
Yeah.
It's literally the Streisand effect. Yeah. You made it 10 times worse.
He was right, though. He was safe in Utah. They do take care of you.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
I mean, the pressure's going to come down, dude.
It has to. It has to. Now they're also, I forgot to mention, they're in this position where they've raised so much in a GoFundMe that they can now just give that guy the value of the Legos. But Reckless Ben, the YouTuber, is like,
to win.
I don't want this guy now to just be like, well, he got paid back. He's getting away with it. So what they're going to do, I think, is take the money and give it to that guy.
Official statement.
Have an official statement, but you can't leave a comment. The comments are right now have been very limited.
Bricks and minifigs. Oh, they haven't. So he's gonna give it to. He's gonna buy the Legos himself, Reckless Ben. So then it legally is like falls on him, and he can pursue it from there. God bless that guy, though. Were you familiar with that guy, Reckless Ben?
And I gotta.
I love him.
Me
dude.
too. Yeah. Apparently, he just goes around like white knighting shit in like the best possible way.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, use live streaming and stuff for good, not evil.
I agree totally.
And it's so funny because he wanted just to do like a quick video. You know, he wanted to help someone out, maybe a 30-minute video. You know, let it go, show people he's good people. He's like, I didn't expect to be tied up in this fucking scandal I just got myself in. And like he said, he won't let it go now. He wants to somehow.
Yeah, he shouldn't, dude. He's winning, and these guys' careers are done. They'll never read what the statement says, Johnny. Can you read that?
Yeah, sure.
Because you're a good reader.
It says, it's a multi-part statement.
Oh, dude, it's a huge
Part
multi-parter.
1, to our Lego community, thank you. We know how many of you have seen the discussions surrounding the former Bricks and Minifigs Salem, Oregon location, and we understand why people care so deeply. Boy, AI surely wrote this. At the center of this situation is a family caught in the middle of a private dispute with a former independent owner. Why'd you close it?
Oh, that's what you're reading?
Yeah.
You're reading the little one. Oh,
yeah.
My bad. Sorry about that.
Dispute with a private owner, and we truly, there it is.
And we truly empathize with how painful and emotional this experience must feel for them. We also know our community values fairness, honesty, and compassion, and so do we. After the ownership of the Salem store changed, inventory was thoroughly documented and assessed. We became aware of a previous alleged consignment arrangement that Bricks and Minifigs corporate and the New Salem franchise owners were never party to, nor had any advanced knowledge of. When we compared the store's inventory against the limited documentation provided, it became clear the full list of claimed inventory was not in the store. Any items that could reasonably be identified as potentially belonging to the consignor were offered back, but that offer was declined. Additional written efforts to work together.
Stop it! They're lying, just full of shit.
They're lying,
and you're full of shit. And what you should be saying is, we don't work with these people anymore. They should give the Legos back. That's the end of the statement. Because what you're doing now, dude, is you're destroying your brand even more. Like, your brand is done. And the only hope you have is to side with the people who lost the Legos and be like, Bricks and Minifigs understands how much people love their Legos. And it's sad that somebody would steal your Legos.
And this isn't the only bad publicity they've had, by the way. These Lego guys have gone in there before. And what a guy will do is pretend to be kind of like somebody who just found his old Legos under his bed, and he'll put one really valuable one in there and bring it in to get a quote, you know? And he's busted them a few times, this guy, like saying, like, oh, yeah, they're worth about $30, bro. Nothing special here. And then the guy will be like, what about, was there a gold one in there? And one time he tried it and it went missing.
Yeah,
they stole it,
wow,
bro.
you saw the same video, yeah.
They're just scam artists, like, allegedly. Just like they said, allegedly, right?
You might have never done it, but I know he did it. It's like GameStop. GameStop will literally sell you a game for $50-$40, and then you'll beat it or you don't want it anymore. You want to trade it in, and they'll give you $4 or $5, and then literally they'll tell you that they're going to put it up there for $40, but you have, you just don't sell it, I guess.
It's called college bookstores.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was the ultimate scam.
We'll sell it to you for $60. We'll buy it back for $4.
Yeah, what? That was such a scam, dude. And they knew they had you over a barrel because they keep updating you'd have to get the latest version of the book.
The teacher would tell you, you need the latest version of this book. The old one doesn't work, and the new ones, you couldn't go and buy an old one from your old classmate.
This is the dumbest thing they could.
By the way, I wrote the book. Especially at UNC, a lot of my professors wrote the textbooks, so they would just getting paper every time they saw the text. It was such a scam.
They must have loved it, dude.
Yeah,
they must have loved it. Oh, and then they made it part of their course. You gotta get this book.
Yeah, dude. Now my psych professor, Professor King, and this other guy,
shots fired to Professor King.
Well, he was a great. No, I mean he was published because he was like the top shit guy in psychology. But yeah, he wrote the book, and you had to get the latest version.
If you go to samtripoli.com, you can see my dates. Albuquerque next weekend, the 1000th episode after that. Oh my God, we're so close. Woo. Miami, Florida. We have added Thursday night. By the time you look at this, it will be on the calendar. Joke World Comedy Festival at St. Petersburg, Lawrence, Kansas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, TruthorCon in Dallas, November 7th. Very excited to do that with the boys. Skankfest, Austin, Texas, for the mothership to close out the year. Go to samtripoli.com. New premium content being put out constantly. Please go check that out. I'm trying to put up. Sometimes I can't get 3 up, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying my hardest. I'm so slam busy. Johnny, talk about Cash Daddies.
Yeah, Howie, boy, had a big week last week with some calls and a lot of people.
Are we talking happy. Big bucks, no whammies?
Yeah. You can't guarantee no whammies, but boy. He had no whammies last week for sure.
Yeah, he's on fire. I love him.
It's just a community of people who want to, make sure their future is secured financially.
Yeah. Do you like your future? Do you want it secured? Check out patreon.com/cashdaddies. Go down. Go right to the shirts. We got to show the new shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Brand new shirt alert. We forgot to do that at the beginning of it. Brand new shirt alert. Look at that, Sir Triple A Bacon.
$20, dude.
$20. Where do you get anything for $20?
Yeah, you could literally have a good deal here, just cutting this into strips and wiping your ass with it.
It's probably cheaper than toilet paper.
It's cheaper than toilet paper.
But it's a nice shirt, Sir Triple A Bacon. Look at that. That's a fire shirt, dude.
Dude, I guarantee you, he never thought he'd be worn on a T-shirt in the future.
Yeah, you mean me from the future?
Yeah, you didn't.
The past, never thought I'd put myself on a shirt in the future. Yeah, very excited. I got a couple new shirts coming out. So
does look like you.
Well, because that is my face.
This
He
is
is,
this one
he
AI?
is Sir Francis Bacon.
No, I had a guy make it for me. That's my
No, but
face.
did he AI your face on that one?
I don't know how. I don't know.
I
His
think
process.
that's the actual one.
Oh, so you're saying that's a real picture of Sir Francis Bacon?
A real painting of him.
What's crazy is you're gonna make millions, and this wasn't even your idea. This
You
guy,
think I'm gonna make $1 million off this shirt?
Let's just say that. So the guy, let's just say
your mouth to God's ears.
Let's just say that. So the guy who made the T-shirt's kicking himself in the face right now. I'll be like, "Fuck! I shouldn't have gave Sam
It's
that
a great
idea."
shirt.
It's a great shirt.
It's like a shirt you can wear to like it's not super casual,
Renaissance.
but it's not super dress up either. Like you can wear this to a nice place.
I wear this to like a Renaissance.
Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that painting's beautiful on your shirt." Yeah, it's of this great philosopher, Sir Triple A Bacon.
Vincent Van Gogh.
Amazing man.
Vincent
All
Van
right,
Gogh
go
did
back
this.
and check out our check. Just check it out, dude. We got go up. Buy gold and silver. Wise Wolf. Wise Wolf. Gold and silver. Chemical free body. EMF rocks. Okay, chemical free body. I took it today. I feel like $1 bazillion. And yeah, dude. Anything else?
Hit that like button, subscribe. Go check out my podcast, X She Marks the Spot. I got some green room action from the Comedy Chaos Show.
Johnny.
We were talking about your hunt for the big slobby chick on at EDC. On
dude,
Instagram.
I still can't find. We still haven't found her.
You haven't found her?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to interview her for like $200-300. I want to know if the T-shirt was successful and why she wore the T-shirt.
Well, because
I have a
women
guess,
like
yeah.
to act like getting laid is hard for them.
Yeah, she didn't have. That's what I'm saying. You didn't have
She's
to wear
like,
that.
"Oh, I'm just gonna put this out and hope and pray."
Yeah, it's like dunking on your toddler and then just clowning him. You're
Yeah,
like,
right.
bitch,
You're like,
what?
dude, I'm so desperate to get some D, man. I'm just gonna wear this shirt, put it out, and hopefully one person will hit on me. There must have been a conga line of dudes throwing dick
That's
at
what
her.
I'm saying. I want to talk to her. I'm like, or when my friend said, I was like, do you think someone just gave her the T-shirt? She isn't from this country. She doesn't.
Oh,
read
that's
English.
so funny. She's foreigner. She
She's
doesn't even know
foreigner.
That was
she's
great.
wearing this T-shirt.
Yeah, it's like
on.
those kids in Africa that are wearing like Super Bowl 30
Yeah,
t-shirts
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a shirt that
Right.
says, "I believe in love, and love is anal." She doesn't even read English.
New Broken Sam is out if you want to hear Sam break down the footage of him being attacked on stage
that is great.
by an elderly man. It's fantastic.
All I do is get attacked and laugh the whole time.
I wonder if he thought he had a chance. Like he really thought out there. He's like, oh, I'm about to.
Well,
put
it's
out.
what Sam said this in the show, right? Like he probably used to be kind of a tough guy.
Well, he's not that tall. Let's say even if he was taller, it would be what, 5'6"?
no, he's a tiny fellow. Yeah.
He's a tiny. So he has little man syndrome. He had flashbacks of his youth.
You should have picked him up and just sat him down off the stage.
You kept pissing him off. That's the Viagra talk.
I look out and there's his face like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Are you okay, bro? What's going on here?" Fuck you, man.
Get off the stage!
Who knew it was coming? Because someone
Fuck
caught it.
you!
Like someone caught. Whoever was
Nitty must have
recording.
been like, again, somebody's attacked him. This guy set world record.
I broke it down on my own private, just out of personal interest. And you had a few little quick Krav Maga swim moves, that I thought were respectable.
Yeah, let's go bang,
Well, he
bang.
came for the mic too.
Yeah.
And you did this kind of matrix, like,
But then the guy came up and I couldn't move it,
Yeah.
and the guy got
yeah.
it.
But the first time when he kind of went, like, you went like,
Yeah,
you went-
no.
I didn't think he was gonna end up falling. I thought they were just gonna end up pushing him out, but they ended up falling on the floor.
Yeah,
Well,
I
because
We're lucky he
he
didn't get
wants to
hurt,
get and that's people like, "You got your ass kicked." I go, "Dude, literally, I had like 18 shots on
Who
this
said
guy."
you got your ass?
Just
kicked?
dumb people in the
Idiot.
comment
people are
section.
so stupid.
They're so-
Not some people are so stupid.
Let's say he was more your age and you look a little athletic. What would you have gone for? Like,
Well, I mean, dude, if it's like a
arm bar?
real attack, like he wouldn't even make it to the stage. I would have fucking sparted his kick right in his chest. And I was gonna do that at the Ha Ha Cafe, but it's just like I didn't want to get banned from there. Like that's my biggest thing. Like I don't want to piss off the venue because it's my friend's show. I know Jack and his mom and dad at the Ha Ha. I don't want to put them in legal problems. So I almost put myself in harm's way to minimize the damage that can happen to the guy. I'm not a fighter. Like I remember one time there was this guy in the front. There was like 3 white guys in the front, dude. And he was just saying the dumbest shit. And then he said something so dumb, heckling me, and I just racked him, dude. He got so upset. He was like screaming at me. His friends grab him. They're walking him out. He sees a chair. He picks it up. He's about to throw it, dude. And thank God his friend stops it. Because if that guy threw it, it would have hit somebody just in the front. Yeah. So I was prepared to jump up and grab the chair. Like I was getting ready for when the chair flew to just jump in the air so the person in the front didn't get fucking dinged. But that's the only thing. It's like, dude, everyone's like, dude, you should have fucking lit him up. I'm like, first of all, if I hit him, I'm known as an old man fucking abuser.
You could kill him too. I mean,
and then if he falls and hits his head and something happens, then I'm catching a case.
It would be like that black kid that, well, he got away with it, I guess, but got called the N-word and he clocked that old guy and he fucking died, man. It could easily happen.
That's gonna stay with that kid forever.
Oh, he lives with it.
Forever. All right, guys.